This is Hkhs Sport bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what on the next. We keeping the foot on the what on the next. This is Hkhs Sport in the building. We got Richy Rich in the building. We got Jaliktheleader in the building. Let's get the salutations out the way. Jalik, what's up, man?
What's popping, man? It's almost the end of 2020. 2020 has been an amazing learning experience. And hopefully everybody that listens to the show is able to learn a lot of things and get them on another level. And I just appreciate you having me on. I look forward to, kicking it.
That's what's up. Richy Rich, what's up, man? Talk to us.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Appreciate you for having me on. He knows. Always, welcome you, Jaliktheleader, to the show. Uh, just like Jaliktheleader said about 2020, it's been a a very challenging year, man. But the year's about to come to an end, so hopefully, we can learn, as a as a mankind, man, how to, be able to adjust to the new year and what new things this world has to offer next year. So, I'm looking forward to that. Um, we got some great topics on the show. Looking forward to you guys in the chat, giving your takes, you giving your opinions on what we have to talk about. Let's just make this a live show today, man. Let's go in.
That's what's up. All right, so let's get on to the first topic at hand, man. LeBron James and the continuum or the continual greatest of all trolls talk. Jaliktheleader, I'm gonna let you be the first one to jump in on it, man. What's your take on LeBron James and ESPN? And the reason why I'm saying this is because really it's a subset of ESPN and ESPN First Take and Stephen A. Smith and them saying that if LeBron James wins his fifth ring, which Stephen A. Smith said was asinine, this really came from Uncle Ruckus, i.e. Kendrick Perkins. If he wins his fifth title, he will have usurped Michael Jordan and he will be the GOAT. I didn't know in mathematics 5 was greater than 6. So I want your take on it, Jaliktheleader. I want to see what you got to say. Just let me know, man, when it's all said and done. What's your take on LeBron James and the GOAT top?
The way Michael Jordan, since he was 6-0, you got to give him credit. Jordan is a bad man. I think LeBron is the GOAT, but you can't take it away from Jordan. And the thing about Jordan, his presence is so strong because it was like Magic and Bird brung the game back when you in the late 70s they was fighting. You see the documentaries, it wasn't even popular. They got back on TV. Bird and Magic was gone. Then they started to fade, and then Michael Jordan just took it beyond international, like in China. So his aura is so powerful. So most people is never gonna. LeBron's aura is not going to be able to live up to Michael Jordan's aura, especially with the sneakers, and he's like a cultural icon. So even if a guy comes out, say if I'm just using an example, LaMelo Ball, say if he comes out and goes 7-0 in the finals and have a spectacular career, he still won't, unless he does something from a cultural basis, could live up to Jordan. Now, for Stephen A. Smith to say that, I'm surprised because I never heard him say that, bro. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they said it because LeBron is at an older age or what made him change his mind.
No, Stephen A. didn't say it. It was just the title.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
The title was if LeBron James won his fifth title, he would have usurped Michael Jordan and be GOAT. It was really coming from Kendrick Perkins. Stephen A. Smith was just
a lot of people believe that. Like I'm one of them because scoring, I don't really see besides. Be honest with you, I don't even think he really scored, man. I'm trying to think of something that he does that's better than LeBron, like because LeBron is like Jordan mixed with Magic all into one. I'm trying to think. His sneakers is probably better. I give him that. The Jordans might be a little better than the LeBron's, but I don't really. His jumper is better. His passing ain't better. But when you look at the influence he had on the game is definitely bigger than LeBron. You got to give it to him. So that's where he's going to get credit for that one. But if I was the number one pick, I would definitely 100% pick LeBron. And me You know, I like to look at the mental aspect of it. Imagine Jordan playing right now with social media, and you know he got that tyrant personality in it, Richie. You know he got that tyrant in him. He knows his sports. So
Mhm.
imagine him right now playing with people that can score just as good or better than him. Because Kevin Durant can score better than him, and that's not even a lie. Everybody know Kevin Durant can score better than him. So his super alpha tyrant personality in today's media and him gambling, that eat him up, bro. Because everything was structured. Listen, everything was structured. He's like corporate. He says the right words. He doesn't go here. He doesn't go here. He doesn't. He's perfect, and that's who you want if you try to live the corporate life. But the free thinkers movement goes against the grain. So you might say something that might hurt a whole demographic of people. But as long as you stuck with what you're saying and you feel like it's the truth, then you don't change. Michael Jordan doesn't do that. LeBron, on the other hand, says things where people come and paint his house with the N-word and things like that. So just going with the free thinkers movement, I'm surprised that you even associate Michael Corporate Jordan with the free thinkers movement. That's what I'm saying. He's corporate. Now, he's the safe bet. You want the sponsors? Yeah, be safe. But me on the free thinkers movement, I'm totally against the grain. You might say something somebody don't like. You stand up for things, you speak out, and that creates a different impact on your whole career too. Because we got to be honest, a lot of things is based on popularity, you know what I mean? And just the impact that you have, even with music. So I'm gonna tell you this. LeBron is both of them are great, but I don't see what Jordan does better. And I definitely wouldn't have the tyrant on my team. It's like he's so desperate to win that he'd cheat. Like you see him playing cards, he'd cheat to play cards. It's like he empty. He doesn't have nothing to live for besides basketball. It's like he's desperate. So I definitely wouldn't draft him number one. I got LeBron to go all the way. Easy.
Okay. Richy Rich, what's your take on it, man?
Man, I tell you what, Jalik got some hate in his heart for Jordan. You could just tell just by what he done uttered. That nonsense he done uttered, man. Okay, like I mean, you could see it, man. The media, man, they just are in like a love relationship, a love relationship with LeBron right now. He's the trendy topic, man. You know, they're in the prisoner of the moment. He's the guy that they have as the golden child of the NBA. But eventually they have to move on from this guy because uh, unlike Jordan, LeBron James has taken shortcuts to win, man. Jordan never took shortcuts. And uh, Jordan is a competitor at the end of the day. The NBA, the era of this NBA is different, man. This climate is different. Guys, you can already see it now. You hearing James Harden, he wants to go to one of these teams that can contend for a championship, man. Guys don't want to stay and compete against the best, man. And LeBron started all of this when he was at the age of 26, when he was being called the best player, when Kobe Bryant was still winning championships, man. It's ridiculous. Kobe was still winning titles as the Los Angeles Lakers, and he got to hear from these people saying that LeBron James is the best basketball player because you winning 60 some games with a bunch of okay mediocre players, but you're not getting to the big dance. That's not the best player in the game. If he was the best player in the game, he would be getting to the finals, and he would at least be getting to the finals with that squad. LeBron wasn't getting to the finals. He was losing. After that year, he got to the finals and got swept by the Spurs in I believe '03. He kept progressing. He got swept in the finals. Then he went to the Eastern Conference Finals, got beat by the Celtics, and then he got beat in the conference finals again by Orlando Magic, and then he regressed, and then he got beat by the Celtics in the second round. There's a regression there. If you're the best player in the game, you never regress. You keep moving forward. You don't regress until you just get old and then you're done in the game. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron James, he's a schemer. You know what I'm saying? When we look at the game of basketball, it's like people are looking at the game to where they're looking at everyday stuff in life now. To where this is how millennials look at life. Back in the days, people looked at life as okay, you gotta work hard to achieve what you want in life. Now millennials, man, we are part of this. We're part of that age gap. I'm talking about the younger millennials. They wanna gank the system, man. They want to try to achieve success by taking shortcuts. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but I have a problem with that. Problem with that when it's in sports. That's a huge problem because sports is a competitive thing. We want to see the best go up against the best. We want to see the best compete against the best. When you got the best players taking shortcuts, trying to team up with the best guys and then winning, and then saying that they're the greatest of all time, that's a fallacy, man. That's a farce. That's not real. That's not real. Because imagine if Jordan, if he teamed up with Magic Johnson, if he teamed up with all these other great players, Jordan would not lose, man. Dudes would be saying it's not fair, man. This is ridiculous. How can this guy team up with all these guys and he can't and he's not gonna stop winning? You would be hating on Jordan to infinity. You hating on Jordan now, but imagine if he did what LeBron was doing. Your hate for this man would be unchained, man. That's what I'm saying right now. Jordan did this with the likes of as you say, his savior, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson was not a savior. He didn't win no championship until he started coaching Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen was out here getting his behind beat up by the Pistons until he manned up and got right, and then they went on this run to win six chips. You need to get it correct, man. Jordan was the main engine to that, man. You always need that one clear-cut guy, and then obviously he needs pieces around him, and then you could get it done. It takes time. LeBron James took shortcuts. You ain't the GOAT, man. You took shortcuts, and you have the worst finals loss in NBA history as a great. We've never seen no greats choke on the biggest stage ever like LeBron James. It's like LeBron was out here playing. He owed money to a bookie or something. Because game 1 and game 2, LeBron was against the Dallas Mavericks in 2011. He looked like he had confidence. He was playing with some swagger. Then after those games, something happened to this man. Like all his basketball power zapped out or something. He didn't want to give no effort. He looked like a scared, petulant child against the Dallas Mavericks. Like he didn't want to play at all, man. Listen, we've never seen Jordan not go out there and give an effort. Even in losing efforts, Jordan always goes out there and gives 100. We can't say that. We can't say that about LeBron James. So that's not GOAT material. Y'all need to check. Y'all need to go look at those games. That's not GOAT material. And the past 11 years, LeBron James has been jumping from team to team, teaming up with the best talents that the NBA has to offer. That's not greatest of all time material. And let's not even talk about off the court stuff. Jordan's Jordan brand. Listen, LeBron could dream to achieve the type of success Jordan has touched off the court with his brand, man. Jordan how many years have Jordan been removed from basketball? He's been removed 17 years from basketball. He came to come play on the Wizards in that short stint, but he still is the top guy in sales in his apparel, man. Why can't these younger dudes who are playing nowadays outclass Jordan in his apparel? This man is 17 years removed from basketball, and he's still outselling these guys with his clothing line, his shoes. It's kind of embarrassing, man. When these guys are the ones that are the trendy guys still playing in the league, and they still can't beat an old fart that was done 17 years. It don't make no sense. Jordan is the GOAT. And LeBron James, China don't love you like that, dog. Especially after he showed where his allegiance was to. When he was saying that, that whole situation with Daryl Morey and China, when they were at that time where they were like the people who were protesting at the time, and they were the military or the police enforcement, they were going after them for protesting. And Daryl Morey made those comments about pray for China, and then LeBron James, he showed that he was to the corporate side. So I don't know what you're talking about, Jalik. You saying Michael Jordan is corporate? LeBron is all corporate. He's all business-like. He's for Nike, man. What are you talking about? You got to check yourself, Jalik, on that. LeBron James is not going to put his money at stake for people, the people in China who was being prosecuted over there. And they were trying to protest and they were being prosecuted. He's not going to put his money over at stake. Sometimes Jordan wouldn't say nothing. Jordan, because that's who Jordan is. Jordan he never looked at it as, you know, he gotta do stuff. You know, he's looked at himself as a basketball player. He wants the people who are in position. I remember from First Take, you know, from the Last Dance, Jordan mentioned about the people who are there are better people in place to handle stuff like that than me. I'm a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it affects the game of basketball, yeah, you would speak on it, but he never looked at himself as a politician or something like that. Jordan being real to you, LeBron ain't being real. He trying to say have a say in everything. You can see when you see on his social media, it's like LeBron wants to be loved so much. He want to say on everything in this world, man. Like there was a situation where a kid got hit by his head coach in the little league football. LeBron made a comment on it. Like, come on, dude, man. Listen, you don't gotta. Not everybody wants to hear what this guy gotta say. You know what I'm saying? LeBron is. I'm not gonna lie. LeBron is smart. If he keeps talking, if he keeps trying to be relevant on social media, have a say in everything, eventually people are going to like they're gonna be like, damn, LeBron has a say on everything, man. He's relevant. You know what I'm saying? That's why he got so many social media followers. LeBron, whoever told LeBron James to do this, it's smart because it keeps him relevant. And it's smart, but guess what? It doesn't make him goat material, man. It just makes him a swagger jacket. And look, Space Jam 2. If you really was an originator, you'd make your own movie. Why are you trying to hang on Jordan's nuts and make a second Space Jam? Let that legendary movie live on its own merit, dog. You're gonna try to jump in a Space Jam 2 to try to rehash that legendary movie that Jordan made with the Bugs Bunny and all that. This man, come on, dog. Everything, he's just a copy. He's not an originator. You know what I'm saying? He's not an innovator. He's none of that. He's just a carbon copy of MJ that's taking shortcuts. That's all I got to say on the matter.
All right, now let me jump in on this. This is what people got to understand. Richy Rich harped on a lot of points. When we sit here, we look at LeBron James. He's not even a carbon copy. I mean, it's disrespectful even to say that. But LeBron is not an originator. LeBron is not even a duplicator. LeBron is a troll orchestrator. He's a troll runner. He moves the thumb and the needle based on him being the greatest of all trolls and not the greatest of all time. Now we have to sit here and unpack. Because when Jaliktheleader said free thinkers movement, you even understand what that means, Jalik? That means everybody has the ability to think the way that they think. So when you sit here and say Michael Jordan is a corporate guy, I don't even understand that reference because LeBron James is as corporate as you get. When you look at his whole demeanor, when you look at his whole body language, the fact that he sits there and he says yes, massa to the Nike brand. He doesn't do anything to straddle the fence of it. That's corporate right there. When you sit here and watch the McDonald's branding, when you sit here and you watch his branding with all of the other chains that he has, Blaze Pizza, he's as corporate as you could possibly be. To be independent is for you to open and start your own trend. I'm gonna give you an example of what independence looks like. Independence would look like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's like, I don't need endorsements because I'm just that big myself. That I am the actual endorsement. That's independent right there. I don't need Bob Arum. I can be an independent contractor, have my own LLC, and I can govern myself and run my Mayweather promotions and make all of the money and have the lion's share. That's independence right there. That's not corporate. So you what you did is you took something about Michael Jordan because you have a disdainment with him because you mentioned him as a tyrant. Being a tyrant is not a bad terminology. Hkhs Sport is a tyrant. See, people are uncomfortable with the confidence of a Hkhs Sport. They're uncomfortable with the competition level. You will not know competition until you deal with competition against Hkhs Sport. And it doesn't matter the level of alpha you want to call yourself. When you step into the room and you have to deal with Hkhs Sport, you will be challenged. You will feel like what's wrong with this guy? This guy needs help. You know why? Because people at the highest levels are crazy. They're maniacal. There's something wrong up here. You know why? Because they're always competing. They don't never turn competition off. That's what the highest level of competition is all about. You never turn that motherfucker off. And people like to be comfortable. Even when they so-called call themselves alphas, they like to be comfortable. They are creatures of comfort. I don't know what comfort is. I'm detested by it. I'm always trying to be uncomfortable because in being uncomfortable, this is how you graduate yourself. This is how you evolve. This is how you elevate. This is what Michael Jordan is all about. This is what Kobe Bryant's all about. Always being uncomfortable. And if that means that you have to steer the ship in the wrong way, if that means that you have to piss people off, if that means that people around you have to feel some type of way about what you say, it's because what you're doing is you're girding them up. You're girding their loins up to the level of competition that they need to be on. Because people have a tendency, like I said, to be comfortable. Wherever level they're at, they love comfort. Human beings are a creature of comfort. I detest comfort. Kobe Bryant said something when he was interviewed by Evan Carmichael, right? And he said, when you work, you have to go and work harder. No matter how hard you work, you got to go and work harder. Well, that's a he knows the sport right there. It don't matter how much I work, I'm gonna have to go and work harder. If I have a fundamental difference of opinion, that does not mean that I'm selling out. It just means that I'm different in my mindset than you are. Well, that's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And as it relates to LeBron James, their game is fundamentally different. So when people say Michael Jordan is a sellout, they just don't understand what it means. When you say somebody is a tyrant, that actually is a compliment to that person that you're saying is a tyrant. It's because you don't understand their genius. The most genius people on the planet are the craziest. Look at Kanye West. Kanye West is considered a person that looks like he has so many mental health issues, and he really doesn't. Kanye West is just a genius. He didn't get billionaire status by not being a genius. And a lot of times when you look at people that are at a genius level, they are maniacally obsessed with what they do. This is how he knows the sport is. I'm maniacally obsessed with what I do. Richy Rich will tell you this. This is why I tell everybody that you will not find another competitor on this planet like me, man. I make people around me compete all the time. And a lot of times, what that's going to do is it's going to cause friction. It's going to cause situations to break up. And you know why that's going to happen? It's not he knows the sport. It's the fact that the person couldn't keep up with that level of competition. That's really what it boils down to. That's what Michael Jordan is. That's why you always heard in The Last Dance, teammates had problem with Michael Jordan. You know why they had an issue with him? Is because they couldn't keep up with the maniacal, obsessed, competitor that he is. People had problems with Kobe Bryant in the locker room. You want to know why? Because they couldn't keep up with the maniacal, obsessed competitor. These guys are competitors. They're always competing. Do you want to know why teammates love LeBron James? Because LeBron James is not a competitor. LeBron James is what we call somebody that people love to have fun with. Larry Legend made this very clear when he said this. When I want to have fun, I play with LeBron. But when I want to win, I play with Kobe Bryant. Do you understand what Larry Legend was saying at that point? He was basically denoting a point to say that Kobe Bryant is a superior competitor to him because he knows that playing alongside Kobe Bryant will now tell him, you need to elevate your level of competition to match mine. This is how it is with people as it relates to he knows the sport. This is why people are always going to be uncomfortable with he knows the sport, because a lot of people but a lot of people love to be comfortable, man. And I don't understand that language. I would never understand that language. I didn't get to where I got in my life being comfortable. And the new heights that I'm going to get, I'm not going to get there being comfortable. Jordan is not comfortable. Kobe is not comfortable. So when you say they are a tyrant, it's your way and your comfort, Jalik, of not understanding their uncomfort. That's why you call it a tyrant. You see how you just got, this is like a gentleman's check of getting ethered and murked. Today, there's not going to be no hyperboles. There's just going to be me talking to you straight. Because I can check people straight too. What people have to understand is when we look at Michael Jordan and we look at Kobe Bryant, we look at the DNA of what they are as a basketball player, their influence, the reason why it's going to transverse generations is because of what they were. They were guys that were willing to shed blood, sweat, and tears continuously, religiously, and they were willing to always go the next height in their competition. The only way that you could stop their competition is if they, Kobe Bryant competed all the way up until his last day on the planet because he wanted to make sure his daughter got on that plane and they go whoop those other teams, the opposing team. Him and his daughter was talking about basketball strategies. This guy died competing. Now he can't compete no more. This is what competition is all about. You ask anybody that's around me. You ask my wife. You ask my brother. You ask anybody. That's how I am. I'm always competing. I don't understand non-competition. I don't understand it. And anyone that's gonna be around me, you gonna compete. And if you can't be comfortable with competing, then get the hell out of the kitchen. Because really what it's all about is taking people and making them maximize who they are as individuals and taking them to the highest form and the highest degree of what they are. Because believe it or not, just when you think you've arrived and just when you think you've gotten there, you really haven't. There's still another layer that you need to go. And like I've said, and I will say this again, when we look at love participation award era, they have one simile that's in common with them. They don't like to compete. And competition brings out the best. This is why I'm always competing against anyone, no matter if they're in my circle, no matter if we're friends, no matter if we're associates. I'm always competing because I want to bring the best out of you. It's nothing personal. It's nothing with me being against you. It's just nothing. It's that weird thing that Kobe had. Remember when Kobe always used to text Michael Jordan? People get annoyed by that, but they don't understand the method by that. That's how I am too. When I'm outside of my head, if I consider you somebody that's my peer that I respect, Richy will tell you, I don't let people into my circle. I live a loner's life. I think I'm the ultimate loner on this planet, to be honest with you. The solitary confinement, the fortress of solitude. Richy will tell you, what do I always will tell you? I'm going into hiatus, though. And when I go into hiatus, I'll let you know when I get out. There's a reason for that. I'm the ultimate loner. I don't think there's nobody that's a loner like me, man. But when I let you in and I'm shooting the breeze with you and I'm going back and forth, that's a great place for you to be at. Because that means that I respect you enough to let you in on that level. Because usually I'll just beat it myself. That's how Kobe is. And Kobe found that with Michael Jordan. And that's why you saw Kobe Bryant was letting Michael Jordan in. And he would always be sitting. He wouldn't do that to nobody else. He would do that to Mike because he respected Michael Jordan on that level. And he understood that Michael Jordan was the only other person from a competitive standpoint that got it. Now, I annoyed the shit out of Michael Jordan, but it was just two true alphas going at it back and forth. And by the way, the true alpha terminology is a Hkhs Sport original. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Nobody was quoting that terminology until I started quoting it. So I just want to put that out there. Now, anyways, back on to what we was talking about. When we sit here and we look at Michael Jordan and we look at Kobe Bryant as it relates to LeBron James, there's a singularity difference between those guys and the way they approach basketball as it relates to LeBron James. LeBron has cultivated a love participation award era. Jalik, the fact that you just have LeBron over Michael Jordan, it just tells me your level of competition, which ain't about much of nothing. Because anyone that usurps LeBron James over Michael Jordan is not a competitor. It means that you are a party type of person. Because LeBron loves to have fun. When he came to Miami, you remember that video, that clip with Chris Bosh, Richy Rich, when Chris Bosh was going like this, and LeBron was the main one going like this, just dance. That's LeBron. He's a little circus show, man. I ain't gonna lie. If I want to have fun and I want to sit back and eat some popcorn, like Larry just said, when I want to have fun, I play with LeBron. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna have fun and play with LeBron. But when I want to compete, when I want to be tested, when I'm going to be pulled fuel to the fire, I will line myself up with a Michael Jordan. I will line myself up with a Kobe Bryant. I will line myself up with a Hkhs Sport. Because these people will push me to a level that I didn't even know I could go. That's just the way it rolls, man. Because competition at this level, Eric Thomas said it. Anthony L., when I say this, you know it's going to hit you because Eric Thomas is a great mentor. Richy Rich, I'm going to say the terminology. At this level, we ain't practicing no more, dog. You either got it or you don't. Richie Rich knows because that's how we won the basketball court, dog. At this level, you ain't got it no more. You either practicing or we at this level, we ain't practicing no more. We either got it or we don't, dog. Either you have it or you don't. And competition is not ingrained in everybody's DNA. They don't even understand the word. A lot of times people say stuff, they don't even understand the full weight and the gravity of what they're saying. Jordan is an ultimate competitor. When you look at the NBA 50 greatest book, do you know what they say about MJ? And I love it because on my tombstone, when I give up the ghost, they gonna say that about me too. They gonna have that thing in hashtags. They say that Jordan is the ultimate competitor. That's what my tombstone gonna say. I'm the ultimate competitor because I will compete. I will not only will I compete, I will make people compete around me because a competition brings the best out of you, man. It's iron sharpening iron. When people are not competing, what's the fun in that? That's fun for me when I'm competing. Like if I'm just sitting there shooting the breeze, not compete, what do I learn out of that? How do I gain from that? How do I evolve from that? That's Michael Jordan on the basketball court. How does he gain from that? How does he evolve? That's Kobe Bryant. That's why their careers ended up the way it did. And Richie Rich, I'm gonna tell you something right now. You about to laugh your ass off. LeBron James has to win 17 straight more finals. Just to tie Kobe Bryant's NBA Finals average, dog. You didn't catch that. He got to go 17 more straight NBA Finals just to get to that 71.4. And he got to win all of them. You see what I'm talking about, Jalik? That's the difference between the participation award era, and that's the difference between true competitors. And you just got to get it. And it has to stick. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is an ultimate competitor. Kobe Bean Bryant is an ultimate competitor. LeBron James is a greatest of all trolls. And when you sit here on this last point and say that LeBron James is not corporate, well, if there was any time for LeBron James to really show, and Anthony L's gonna love this one, to really show that he was a political type of person, what about during the whole Mickey Mouse title, least path of resistance, fraudulent, fluky, on the spot, NBA pickup game? If LeBron really wanted to lead the charge, he would have done what Kyrie Irving did. What Kyrie Irving did was about as much of a true alpha extraordinaire governed by true alpha economics that you could possibly do. He wanted to stop business as usual because there was just more bigger fish to fry. And what did LeBron do in corporate fashion? Oh, we ain't going to mess up the endorsements. We ain't going to mess up NBA. They making me all my money. We ain't going to mess up Nike. You know, they paying me checks. Because if LeBron would have done what Kyrie Irving did, you know what would have happened, Richie Rich? Nike would have pulled away from his ass. The NBA would have pulled away from his ass. So when you sit here and say that Michael Jordan is corporate, but yet LeBron James is doing all of these corporate moves, you're being what we call a love contradiction or a love walking contradiction. And that's all I got to say on that. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Stephen Curry. We saw on ESPN First Take, Stephen Curry, they were arguing and they were talking about, is the dynasty with Dub Nation going to be the same dynasty? And we saw Max Kellerman and we saw Stephen A go at it. Max had the audacity and the unmitigated gall to say it's still there. And Stephen A laughed at him. Now, to me, the dynasty left and went with Kevin Durant. And I'll say my 2 cents on it. But what's your take on it, Jalik?
My fault. On the excuse me, on the Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
One of their biggest mistakes that they actually made. See, a lot of times these business guys, and I get it, it's actually cool because I like the players to get the money. Mm-hmm. They let the personal feelings get in the way with their contracts. Why would you sign Draymond Green before he became a free agent? I know it was a loyalty thing. He didn't want them to think like, oh, they showing favoritism. I get it, but now that contract alone has put them in a very weird situation because now he's not producing like he was. Because I always liked Draymond Green. I used to stick up for him. Mm-hmm. But dollar amount that he has, they're in a bad situation, especially with Klay Thompson getting hurt again, which is sad because he got Achilles injury, and then another one is kind of similar to the situation with DeMarcus Cousins. So with that being the case, Curry is going to do his thing. Curry is a happy dude. He's smiling. He having fun. He just living in the moment. You know what I mean? He's not real vocal. He just chilling. He can move without the ball. But Andre Wiggins still hasn't found himself yet. The guy with talent. He don't really. He like Kyrie Irving. He just talented. He can't lead you to no playoffs. Kyrie, you know, he needed LeBron to go to the playoffs. You know, and he get all his credit for making a shot, which is cool. But he can't do nothing by himself. He doesn't know how. Andre Wiggins is the same way. Devin Booker is the same way. Those are guys that are just talented. They haven't gotten to the level where they know how to manage people, because knowing how to manage people is a skill within itself. So I forget the guy that the Wiseman dude that they drafted. I heard he was off the chain. But from the looks of it, with them being hurt, they was let me see, 14, 15, 16, 17. For 5 straight years, they went there. Now, if they would have won, well, they did. You can actually low-key say they kind of a dynasty, but right now they're definitely not a dynasty. And Kevin Durant did help their dynasty. Like, you got to give Kevin Durant credit for that. You know, I know Kevin Durant is like what you say, what's that word you always use that start with a B? A beta?
No, that's what you said.
Yeah, so that's what Kevin Durant. That was the biggest beta move in the history of beta. I think that term is from the Greek to some Greek word. So you got to give them credit, man. You might not like Golden State. They was fun while it lasted, but everything always starts over again. And these guys is like in their 30s, so they late in their career. And with Klay Thompson, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. They not making the playoffs, bro. They're not making the playoffs because Draymond Green, as far as I hate to say it, he does look like a system guy, and his body keep breaking down. These guys aren't machines. Their body is slowly but surely breaking down. So they ain't making the playoffs right now. But Curry he'll go down as one of the greatest. Will he ever win a ring again? I think he'll probably finish his career as a Golden State guy because he likes it there. He already won 3 rings. He's probably satisfied with that, and he'll keep breaking records as far as like 3-pointers and different things like that. So he definitely created his lane, and he opened it up for a lot of people like LaMelo Ball. Hopefully, LaMelo Ball can help your savior Michael Jordan win again, because Michael Jordan don't know how to draft. He doesn't know how to draft. He got Adam Morrison. I mean, I hate keep talking about it. Anthony in the chat, shout out to him, but he doesn't get it. He think Michael Jordan, just because he the only black owner, that he shouldn't get criticized. He don't know how to draft. He just paid Gordon Hayward all that money, and the dude's been inconsistent. He don't know how to draft. He don't have no friends around him that tell him the truth. They all scared of him. He's a tyrant. Y'all can't see it. He's a tyrant. Everybody is afraid of him. Oh, I don't want to hurt Jordan feelings because he's going to fire me. Let me be on his team. He'd have had to listen. After he made 1 or 2 mistakes in the draft, he would have been fixed it. But not to get off the tangent. Steph Curry. Hopefully they can just. I hate to see people injured, man, but hopefully they can come back. But their dynasty is over. That's yesterday's news. It's a new movement going on.
Okay, Richy Rich, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I agree with Jalik about the Golden State Warriors dynasty being over with, because they were supposed to make going this past off season with a big splash. They were supposed to try to acquire another star player. They didn't do that, and the bad news about Klay Thompson came in as the preseason was about to start. The training camps was about to start. Heading into preseason, him having another devastating injury, this time it being his Achilles on the other leg. So that was definitely like a dagger in the heart, because they needed Klay Thompson to play this year to see what they have. I believe they were going to take a wait and see approach, where they were going to see what product they had with Klay, Stephen Curry, Andre Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Wiseman, and then make a decision after. But this is the real thing. So, I mean, it hurts them, and it sets them back. So their franchise is over with. And I kind of agree with the contract of Draymond Green. Now he's starting to get all these injuries. Like he's not ready to go right now. You know, he has some type of muscle tightness or something. I don't know if it's a strain, but this guy is starting to get hurt, and you know that contract is going to end up being you know, like a annoying contract. You know, as the years come along, because Draymond's green
Mm-hmm.
body looks like it's starting to break down. You know, he's a quality role player. He does a lot of things for him, but you know, he's not going to have value if you know he keeps you know missing games. And he can't produce the way he used to in their years when they were contending. And Andrew Wiggins, looking at some of these preseason games, I would have thought that he would have been like more uh assertive, but it's still the preseason. We got to see what this guy can do in the regular season. You know, like he needs to really step up and be that second guy to be able to put points in the hoop, because Stephen Curry, you know, I believe Stephen Curry is going to try to have another career year, because you know Clay's that void of Clay is not there. And Steph, he has to try to remain healthy. That's the only way this team has a shot of making a postseason. I think they could make the postseason with what they have. It's just that guys, they're gonna have to make sure these guys are not getting injured. You know what I'm saying? People are saying that Golden State Warriors medical team, man, they're not that good. They're one of the worst in the NBA because guys keep getting hurt. You know, like that's if they want to get in the postseason, Stephen Curry can't get hurt. Draymond Green can't get hurt. These guys can't miss time. Andrew Wiggins has to step up. James Wiseman has to be what he's hyped up to be. That's the only way they get into the postseason. But if their season turns left, yeah, you're right. They're gonna miss the playoffs. But yeah, their franchise is over unless they can. The Giannis signing this past week kind of put a damper in their hopes of trying to get a star over there, because they were hoping to try to lure Giannis away from the Milwaukee Bucks, and that could have brought a new dynamic in there. But Giannis is he's going to remain loyal to Milwaukee, man, and I think that's a good thing for basketball, because it's good to see guys remain loyal and try to stick it out and win it with the teams that drafted them. But Giannis is going to have to improve his game. That's for another discussion. But the Golden State Warriors, as they are right now, man, they're not a contending championship team. They're not going to contend for any titles. I like the move they made, getting that dude. What's his name? The pretty boy dude. I always forget his name. He
Kelly
played for the Sun.
Kelly
Yeah,
Oubre.
Kelly Oubre. Yeah, he seems like he's gonna bring some hustle over there, and he could hit open shots. That's a solid player that they have, a role player that they have. But they have to add a big piece, because you don't know how Clay is gonna come back next year, man. Because Clay could be a shell of himself, because he has two major injuries on two legs now. One torn ACL, on the other leg, Achilles heel tear, man. That's got to be tough to try to play through, man. So we got to see what Clay looks like next season. If Clay could be something close to what he was, they could get a big piece. Maybe they could make some noise, but I don't know if they're going to contend. So it was fun watching that team, man. What they were, especially when they had Durant. But that's how it is, man. Things don't last. Great things don't last. They always end. You got to enjoy it why it's there, because it can be gone in an instant.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let me jump on this. Devil's Double said two emphatic things, and I'm going to bring up his comments. The first one was what he said. Golden State Warriors shot themselves in the foot when they let KD out the door. Draymond looks like he got put in the dryer. They ain't the same. They play like it's still the 16. They play like it's still 2016. Facts. And then this one right here, Giannis ain't winning a chip up there, and him asking LeBron and AD to come up there was a beta move. Listen, man. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Kevin Durant is a 50-40-90 walking gazelle. He is the definition of what they try to make LeBron perceive to be. If you notice, every time Kevin Durant leaves a situation, the situation is completely obliterated. Oklahoma City Thunder was completely obliterated when Kevin Durant left. They were left with basically Russell Westbrook or Russ Westbrook of Russellville. They were left with that dude. And what happened? They ultimately had to get rid of him because Russell Westbrook didn't know his truest and his most properest levels. He was a Scottie Pippen on that team, and he needed to operate as Scottie Pippen. Remember, He Knows the Sport told you guys about option 1 and option 2. Option 2 has the burden to always bend the proverbial fucking knee to option 1 and to always make sure that they understand their lineage in the role of the hierarchy of basketball. They are option 2. So option 2 has to always be subservient to option 1. That didn't happen in Oklahoma City Thunder. So their window of opportunity was missed. Kevin Durant was like, I'm not going to continue to deal with that fiasco, so I'm going to leave. Notice everywhere Kevin Durant leaves, the team is no longer the same. They are obliterated. Then he went to the Golden State Warriors. They begged him to come over there. See, people keep saying he made the ultimate Greek letter beta move. See, this is what Jalik don't understand. Kevin Durant had options. Kevin Durant could have went to the Miami Heat. And shit, he would have probably been with Jimmy Butler right now. Kevin Durant could have went with the Los Angeles Clippers. Richy, you fact check me, because I'm about to throw this shit out there. Kevin Durant could have went and played with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, your love fest that you have with LeBron James, he could have went over there. But LeBron didn't want to bend the proverbial fucking knee to Kevin Durant, so Kevin Durant was like, screw you. He had options. Kevin Durant could have went and played with the Houston Rockets. But James Harden, again, didn't want to bend the proverbial fucking knee. So he's like, screw you. So he ultimately went where everyone bend the proverbial fucking knee. Stephen Curry said, this is your team. We get it. You're just better than me. That was the ultimate acknowledgement that Stephen Curry did in the one time of his basketball life. He realized his truest and his most properest levels. He bent the proverbial fucking knee to Kevin Durant. Because you know me, I'm all about people bending the proverbial fucking knee. I got motherfuckers saying this shit now. You got to bend the proverbial fucking knee. There's hierarchy to this. Everybody's not on the same level. Meek Mill said the greatest thing, the greatest line ever. There's levels to this shit. There's gears. Everybody don't make the same money. Everybody ain't fucking the same chick. Everybody don't live in the same house. That's what Meek Mill said, and it's true. So everybody ain't on the same level. So let's not kid ourselves. And Stephen Curry had to bend the proverbial fucking knee to Stephen Curry, and that's what he did. I mean, Stephen Curry had to do that for Kevin Durant. That's what happened. And then what ended up happening? They got prosperity out of it because Stephen Curry played a supplementary number 2 role. But here's when Stephen Curry started messing up. See, I call this the Kevin Durant curse because I'm noticing there's a Kevin Durant curse going on. Every time Kevin Durant leaves a team, the team is no longer the same. So it's a curse nevertheless. When Stephen Curry was feeling himself because Dub Nation was saying, oh, this is still Stephen Curry's team. Stephen Curry, remember, option 2 has the burden. They have the continuum burden to always let option 1 know that they are option 1. They have to always make that public proclamation. At that time, when they were trying to say Dub Nation is yours, Stephen Curry should have said, it ain't mine no more. We have a player that's greater than me, and I'm being subservient to him. I need you, Dub Nation, to be subservient to him too. If Stephen Curry would have made that calculated move, because that's a Scottie Pippen move to make, Kevin Durant would have never left. But see, he didn't do that. And see, this is what I try to tell people. There's a bunch of Scottie Pippens in the NBA masquerading themselves as if they're Michael Jordans. Scottie, you need to go to the Scottie Pippen school and learn the totality and the full weight and the full gravity of what a Scottie Pippen school looks like. It means complete submission, complete subservienthood to a Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Yes, and when I say that, Richy was like, damn, this is always saying that, yes, you got to submit, dog. I mean, there's just no way around that. You got to submit. And Stephen Curry messed up when he didn't submit at that time. If he would have sat here and said out of his own mouth that I would have submitted to Kevin Durant, Dub Nation belong to you, Kevin Durant would still be able to go to State Warriors. Kevin Durant said, okay, X off the column with Stephen Curry because he fucked up there. Draymond Green messed up because Draymond Green's not even a third wheel. He's a fourth wheel. Draymond Green is a sum of all parts. He's a con, not a pro. I mean, he's literally just a guy that is clearly a system basketball player. That's the only thing that's smart that came out your damn rapid ass mouth, Jalik. He's a system player. And where he messed up is he got out of pocket and he started going public and saying things about Kevin Durant that he shouldn't have been saying. So Kevin Durant went X. See, this is what true alpha extraordinaires governed by true alpha economics do. They X you. You don't even understand you getting X, but they Xing you in their mind. He X'd them. Klay Thompson. You remember what he did, Richy Rich? He started running his mouth. Well, I ain't getting the touches that I was getting. Motherfucker, you winning titles. What you talking about touches? You get the touches that you going to get when you get them. You ain't on no damn Kevin Durant level. What you thought was going to happen when Kevin Durant got on the team? They was going to give you splash brother touches? Shiggity hush, man. You ain't getting those level touches. There's levels to this stuff. Kevin Durant going to get the line share. Then it's going to be Stephen Curry. And then you're going to be third. You're number 3 on the list now. You went from 2 to 3 on the totem pole. So, higgity hush. You winning titles, right? X on the column. Bob Mayer. Or Bob Meyer, however you want to say his name. Before I even go on there, let me read what Anthony L. said. He said, Jalik, I see you having a hard time listening to sports speak because you and your feelings about what I'm saying in the chat that you can't even focus on the panel and you a panelist. Good point. Now, anyways, let me get back to this. Jalik, you'll deal with that in the panel. Anthony L. checked you on that, by the way. It's the truth. You need to be dealing with me. Anytime you're dealing with me, you need to be fixated on me because all attention need to be here. Anyways, Bob Meyer messed up when he said Dub Nation is Stephen Curry's team. Why would you say that? This was the same GM pumping his chest saying, man, we have a dynasty. X. Kevin Durant X'd him. And then Joe Lacob came out of his mouth, and this is what Kevin Durant X'd him, because Kevin Durant was hoping that Joe Lacob would have G-checked Bob Meyer, right? He didn't even do that. He turned around and X'd him because he restated the point and said, yeah, man, Dub Nation has always been Stephen Curry's team, but we got Kevin Durant. X. Stephen Curry shouldn't even be talked about in the same breath with Kevin Durant. You got Kevin Durant now. So everything should be Kevin Durant at that point. Stephen Curry should be in a supplementary role. So X. Here's what Steve Kerr messed up. Steve Kerr never came out vocally and checked the situation. X. So everybody was getting an X on Kevin Durant. They don't even realize that. But there's a terminology. It's the most hood nigga shit fashion terminology. You know this, Jalik, Richy Rich. If you don't know the terminology, I'm about to say it. Killers move in silence, dog. Let me say it again. Anthony L., you know the term. Killers move in silence. What it means is this. Kevin Durant had to move in silence because he already knew in his mind the move he was going to make. It was just like Kawhi Leonard when he lay away the fucking Toronto Raptors and he made the move. Killers move in silence, man. So he already knew he was going to do their ass up. They just didn't know it. And he left them on the hook. All they had to do for Kevin Durant to stay there is Draymond had to just fix his rabbit ass mouth and make a public apology. Stephen Curry give up the Dub Nation totally, utterly, and without question, submit completely, bend completely the proverbial fucking knee because he's a high octane beta, aka Alpha Wannabe. I know there's a lot of people that have crushes on Stephen Curry or they are Stephen Curry fanboys. Every time I say he's a high octane beta, aka Alpha Wannabe, they get in their feelings about the shit. I don't know why, but it's the fucking truth. He ain't on those levels. When you got LeBron James coughing your ass and getting your head, that tells me you really ain't on those damn levels. And then you needed Kevin Durant to come in and be that over-the-top player to nullify LeBron. And what did he do to LeBron, Richy Rich? He draked his ass. He back-to-back his ass. That's what he did, right? Back-to-back him. 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018. Back-to-fucking-back his ass. 2-1 out of LeBron. And 3 times they've occurred in the NBA Finals. 9 out of 13 overall NBA playoffs where legends are made. He owns fucking LeBron. He has a 67 percentile against LeBron in NBA Finals, 70 percentile against LeBron overall NBA playoffs. He owns it. But anyways, then you got Klay Thompson, all these people. When you see Klay Thompson getting hurt, that's just basically the chickens coming to roost. You know, Malcolm X said that terminology. The chickens have come to roost. The chickens have come to roost with Klay Thompson. When you see Draymond Green looking the way he's looking, even though he got a contract, the chickens have come to roost. When you see Stephen Curry, and I'm predicting this right now, and the prediction king strikes up, and the prediction king strikes in. You know, sport giving you the prediction right now. Stephen Curry gonna pull some shit, Richy Rich, where he gonna say he's injured and he's gonna try to sit out the half of the season. Because if you look at their roster, and we're gonna clown their roster right now. James Wiseman. Woo! Kelly Oubre. I don't care what anybody tell me. Andrew Wiggins. Woo! Nico Mannion. Eric Farscale. Marquise Chris. Woo! Brad Wanamaker. Kent Bazemore. Jordan Poole. Kevin Looney. Damian Lee. Michael Mulder. Alan Simiak. Caleb Wesson. Axel Tupani. Woo! And last but not least, David Sutton or Dwayne Sutton. You see? That's a G League squad. That's what happens when Kevin Durant leaves. I had to laugh at every last one of those so I could show you guys how they have fallen from grace. This is what happens when Kevin Durant leaves. This is the difference between Kevin Durant and LeBron James. When Kevin Durant leaves you, this is the bullshit and the fuck shit that you have to deal with. So I said all of that to say this. The Golden State Warriors dynasty is no longer a dynasty because Kevin Durant took the dynasty with it. Now let's get on to the next topic. James Harden. Jalik, you can go ahead and spearhead that one, dog, because you need to toot your own horn on that one.
Now, yeah, this is a great topic because if you look at James Harden, if you go way back when he was with when he was a sixth man, he fit in very well. He took his role real good for OKC, but I always knew that they wasn't going to be able to afford him. I said it in like that year. I said, oh, he's done. He's not going to afford him when they signed Serge Ibaka. Fast forward, he's with Houston. The guy doesn't really play defense. We all know that in order to have one thing, you got to give Jordan credit for. His conditioning is superb. I forget the guy he works out with. He has superb conditioning. Yeah. So in order to play on that super high level, both offensively and defensively, if you got to have superb condition. Now,
Kobe had the same trainer, you know that, right?
Say what?
Kobe had the same trainer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with James Harden, his body type he always looked kind of chubby. And with him, if the way he moved with the ball, another way you look at a person's condition is look at Reggie Miller and Steph Curry, the way they move without the ball. He doesn't do that. He always have the ball in his hand. So it's part of his personality. It's part of his DNA. So that's what kind of makes him overall the player that he is. And it's good for stats. Like that's why I said trade him to Charlotte. He might get you past the first round. Trade him to Charlotte to help Jordan out to get past the first round and just let him build his stats up because that's all he care about. He don't care about a ring. It's obvious that he don't because that's just the corporate thing. That's like the politically correct thing to say, oh yeah, I want a ring. He don't really want no ring. They just be saying that they want that money and they want that attention and they want all the stats. That's all they really, really want because it's just certain moves that they be making and you can just look at it. One of them is look how overweight he is. He went to the Baby concert, but even prior to that, throughout his career, he always looked kind of chubby. Now, I'm not dissing, we all got our challenges that we overcome, but we got to call it for what it is. He seems like it. I don't know the guy, and this is not fact or nothing. I'm just looking at it from the outside. He probably has like a condition where, how you be chilling and you get home, whatever you do, instead of going to sleep, you feel like you got to eat some butter pecan ice cream or something like that, and you binge off food. He might suffer from that, so he fluctuates with his weight. So that's probably a deep problem. Now, when you look at things like that, that's also a mental issue. Just because these players is making a lot of money and it appears that they're happy doesn't mean that they're happy. That's an illusion. So who knows what's going on with him? I don't want to paint the picture like he's depressed, but only he knows what's going on with that. But I can almost guarantee you that when you're dealing with challenges when it comes to addiction and food, it always have a deeper emotional situation behind it. So he's
It's
probably
deep.
he's probably best to go see a sports psychologist and really deal with his issues, because it's going to get to the point where he's already rich. If he came in that big, bro, that's disrespectful. Because prior to the resume lockout, he was supposedly training in Arizona and he looked good. But then as soon as the season start, he gained the weight back then again. So it's obvious that he has a problem with maintaining his weight, which affects his game. So he's always going to need the ball in his hand and dribbling and dribbling and dribbling. So if he was able to get his weight under control, then automatically his condition will be better, which will translate him putting more effort in outside of his dribble. I'm tired of seeing that, by the way. The NBA is like crazy, bro. They think everything is about scoring and scoring. It's corny. Like nobody want to see guys like score like all the time. People want to see defense, bro. People don't want to see that. They making it real fake and they making it real watered down. James Harden, now he wants to join Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. You know that's not going to work out. Like, who's going to handle the ball? Kyrie Irving ain't going to play shooting guard. Kyrie Irving need the ball in his hand as well. And plus, his contract is enormous. And it's crazy. He's supposed to be real cool friends with Westbrook, but he can't work it out with Westbrook. Now, I'm not saying it's all his fault, but like, what does he need? It's obvious that he's the actual problem. He couldn't do it with Chris Paul. He couldn't do it before then. He couldn't do it with Westbrook. It's him is the problem. He needs to get his weight under control, hire a sports psychologist, whatever it is that he needs to do to figure out why he's sitting up at night eating that butter pecan and Doritos, because that's what it looks like to me. Eating that butter pecan and Doritos, real late at night, 2 a.m. Everybody know that when it comes to weight, when you eat real late at night, you're not supposed to do that, especially in the morning as well, because you break your fast. That's why they call it breakfast. You break your fast, your body is resting. So if you want to lose weight, you break your fast, and then at nighttime you don't eat real late, because you suppose technically you go by the sun in a sense, because your body is at a certain level. You digest your food at lunchtime the best. So not to get off subject, hopefully he can recover. He's good for boxing, but I'm just I'm tired of him. I'll be honest with you, I might not even watch him no more. He like a gimmick now. He dribble like it's so fake now. He a gimmick, bro. I'm done with him. Like he done, bro. That's all I got on him, man. It's like it's like fake now.
Man, you went in though. You gave us lessons on health. You went in. I like that. Richy Rich, talk to him, man.
Yeah, I agree with your opinions on Harden, man. He's just one of these players. He's kind of selfish to an extent, man. But I don't know if I agree with you saying that he would want to go to a team, a bottom feeder team like Charlotte, because he's gave his list of destinations he wants to go to, and it's all playoff contending teams. And he's gave obviously the first choice is Brooklyn, then it's Philadelphia, then it's the Miami Heat. Those are the main 3 destinations that he wants to go to. All those teams are playoff contending teams, and Miami Heat was just in the finals a couple months ago. So I don't think James Harden would want to, especially since he was on that Houston Rockets team that was going to the playoffs in and out. They even went to the Western Conference Finals a couple times during his tenure as he still plays for the Rockets. But Harden wouldn't want to go to a situation where he's playing for a bottom feeder, man. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, why did he decline the 2-year that extension that he got from the Rockets, man? That was going to pay this man $50 million. He would have been the highest paid player in the NBA. This man straight up declined that offer, man. I'm surprised that he declined it. That means that Harden is not all about money, man, right now. He wants to go to a situation where he has a better chance at winning. You know what I'm saying? He wants to go play with a star player, another star player that could make life easier on him. That's all that all his actions, that's what I'm seeing from him, that he wants to take the LeBron route. He wants to go play with a star player that could make life easier for him, and he can have a better chance to improve his odds at winning. Brooklyn, they'll be a phenomenal team, but the problem I have with that move is they're gonna have to give up a lot of depth, man. And now you got to figure out what type of veteran minimum players you're gonna sign. And right now, there's not many of them, so they're gonna have to sign scrap. They're gonna have to sign some scrap guys at veteran minimum that might not pan out for those guys when they get to the postseason. I remember when it was the Miami Heat. Obviously, LeBron choked in 2011, but there were some guys that they signed on that team that you were like, man, maybe they shouldn't have signed those guys. You got to try to fit when you sign three players that are making big time money, and KD's already making big time money. Kyrie's making big time money. James Harden has a hefty contract. Then Houston's gonna demand guys like Karis LeVert, uh, Spencer Dinwiddie. They're gonna want Jared Allen. They're gonna want that shooter that they have on that team. I forgot his name, but he's Joe Harris. He's an elite shooter, man. He shoots 40% from the 3-point line. This is all that Houston's gonna ask for, and they're gonna ask for some picks, man. That's a lot to give up for James Harden right now because watching these preseason games with the Nets, man. Listen, I'm not gonna make no crazy claims right now, but I like what I saw, man. It reminded me when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors that we got to see a preview of what they look like in the preseason. And you already tell, man, like, damn, this team is going to be a dominant team. They're going to give people trouble. They're going to be legit scary, especially when they figure it out. You can already see the dynamic between Kyrie and KD, man. And KD, man, woo, I just hope that boy stays healthy, man, because KD, man, he looks like himself. And that the league needs that. They need that boy to be who he is, man. You know what I'm saying? And they got the bigs. They got Spencer Dinwiddie. They got Karis LeVert. Don't break that nuclear self for James Harden, man. I don't want that because I like their depth. I like the guys that they have, especially with KD. You could give KD you could manage KD's minutes with the depth that they have. If you bring in James Harden, you get rid of all of that depth, man. KD got to play a lot of minutes, man. So I wouldn't want that move for the Brooklyn Nets, even though they're gonna have crazy star power, So I would rather the Nets stay as is because I like them the way they are because they have the bigs, man, to really give people problems. DeAndre Jordan, Jared Allen blocking everything up, rebounding everything up. KD don't have to work as hard. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that team the way it is. James Harden, I could see him going to Philadelphia because now they were talking about Ben Simmons being included in a trade package. They're finally talking about giving up Ben Simmons. That seems more feasible right there. So, but I mean, him pairing up with Joel Embiid, that might work. That might work. They might be able to do something out in the East, but they ain't beating the Nets though. But they might be a team that challenges the Nets in the conference finals. But the Nets would beat them. You know what I'm saying? So, but his odds of going further would improve if he goes to the Sixers because now he's gonna have Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is a prototypical big man. He's like a Hakeem Olajuwon. He's a big that could pretty much do everything. So that'll improve his chances. But they would definitely need to round out that roster a lot better. And James Harden, man, he would have to be a lot more serious in his approach to winning in basketball. Like, what are his aspirations, man? What are his goals? Does he want to win? Does he want to continue to be a guy that's a pushover? Because that's what he's been, man, these past few years. But James Harden, we always knew he'd been a gimmick guy, man. You know what I'm saying? He tries to bait the refs. He tries to bait the refs with foul calls. That's his game. His game is predicate. And all he does is step back threes. He never really expanded his game. James Harden's a strong dude. He could have worked more on his post game. He could have worked more on his mid range. Even when Kobe came out, rest in peace. Well, Kobe was basically telling people that the way James Harden plays, he's not championship title material. He's not going to win a championship as the main guy on the team. People that wasn't listening. You had some people they were hating on Kobe. They were like, no, especially James Harden fans. They were saying, man, Kobe don't know what he's talking about, man. James Harden, he's averaging all these points per game. He's doing all this, but now you guys see that this guy is a fraud, man. He's really a third option guy. You know, so he's not a first option. He was a third option guy, forced to be a number one option when Houston traded for him. And he's shown you time and time again he's not going to get it done because when it matters, he disappears. He can't step up. So I'm done with that.
All right. Let me say my take on it. James Harden is a lazy motherfucker. James Harden is what we call a Tony Romo, aka Zab Judah of basketball, because James Harden didn't apply himself. He never applied himself when it comes to the game of basketball. The thing with James Harden, what people got to understand is James Harden operates the best as a third wheel. You want to see James Harden at his best? Oklahoma City Thunder. Go and look at that and use that as your blueprint, and that's going to tell you everything you need to know about James Harden. I agree with everyone in the chat when they talked about Mike D'Antoni, when they talked about Daryl Morey. All of them allowed James Harden to be who he was, kept giving him extensions, but that's also a Houston Rockets fault too. It can't just be all on James Harden because they allowed him to be the way that he was with no accountability. Here's my take on it. Outside of the Nets, the only other team that I don't mind James Harden being with is with the Miami Heat. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Pat Riley will ramalang his ass. Pat Riley will make sure he will never have no weight problems. Because Pat Riley would treat him like he did Shaq. Remember when Shaq went to the Miami Heat? Pat Riley hired Shaq a fucking chef of his choice. That's what Pat Riley's going to do with James Harden. And he's going to get the conditioning of what a Miami Heat conditioning is all about. James Harden is going to hate life being a Miami Heat, but the Miami Heat is the most conditioned basketball team in basketball for a reason. And I can argue that shit down with the best of them. There's no team in basketball that's as conditioned as the Miami Heat since the inception of the Miami Heat, because Miami Heat's all about condition. That's why Jamie Butler is at home with that team, because Eric Spoelstra will work the hell out of your ass. Pat Riley's going to work the hell out of your ass. That team's going to be conditioned. Go look at Jamal Mashburn. Look at any other time in his career. He was chubby as hell. When he got with the Miami Heat, he was ripped. Go look at Vashawn Leonard. Any other team he played for was chubby as hell. He played for the Miami Heat, ripped. Go look at Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning always had good muscular structure. But when he played with the Miami Heat, he was his most brolic. Go look at Tim Hardaway, who was starting to get fat when he in his later years with the Golden State Warriors. When he got with the Miami Heat, they had him bulky, ripped. Go look at Dan Marley, who was always a ripped guy. When he got to the Miami Heat, he was super ripped. This is what the Miami Heat does, man. They have you locked and loaded. Eddie House. This motherfucker used to be chubby everywhere else he went. He got with the Miami Heat. His ass got in shape. Antoine Walker, a guy that's known to be completely out of shape a lot of times when he was with the Boston Celtics. When he got with the Miami Heat, Pat Riley got him into a bulky shape. Could never get his ass ripped because some people's DNA just can never get ripped. Because, you know, we have endomorphs, we have mesomorphs, and then we have I forget the other one. It's off the top of my head, but we have those three different morphs of body structures or whatever. One is just more of a muscular body structure. One is more retained fat, and then one is a middle of you can retain fat and be muscular. Antoine Walker was more on the fat side, but Pat Riley was able to get his ass into some degree of shape. I mean, just look at him at the end of his career. You'll see what I'm talking about. James Harden is clearly going to be a fatso at the end of his career when he's all said and done. But while he's playing, outside of the Brooklyn Nets, the Miami Heat is the other team he needs to play for. But let me tell you why he's going to work with the Brooklyn Nets. And as a free thinker, I'm going to disagree on some of the points that Richy Rich brought up. James Harden was successful as a third wheel with Kevin Durant, and that's with them not even touching their potential. These guys are at the height of their basketball game, Richy Rich. You remember the lineage with OKC. Him and Kevin Durant played well as long as James Harden is playing a supplementary role to Kevin Durant. At this stage of James Harden's career, he has no choice but to play a supplementary role because who's the team? Who is this team going to belong to? Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant. They're not going to have that shit. If Kevin Durant allows James Harden to be on that team, James Harden is going to have to bend the proverbial fucking knee. Not only to Kevin Durant, he's also got to do it to Kyrie Irving. The reason why I say third wheel is because that's how it worked with OKC. That's how they went to the NBA Finals, with James Harden playing that third wheel role, that six option role. And sometimes James Harden is going to have to be comfortable with this, even though it's going to make him uncomfortable. He's going to have to be a six man because he plays very well in that role. This is James Harden's truest and the most properest levels. Being a third wheel and a six man. This is where he flourishes. When the pressure is not on him and it could be on somebody else. The reason why Kevin Durant can play well with anybody is because Kevin Durant plays off the ball. He's probably, arguably, bar none, the greatest NBA superstar to play off the ball. Even greater than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, because they need the ball in their hands too. Kevin Durant don't need the ball in his hands to drop 50 on your ass. He just needs you to do what you got to do and just give him the ball, and he'll hit you with that Hkhs. That's his favorite shot, though, that Hkhs jumper, though. Y'all know that Hkhs, that 35 crooked little, I just say 35 crooked little, that LeBron James, that was a Hkhs, though. He hit you with that Hkhs and he done with your ass. Because he is effortless. He is efficient. Why do you think I say 50, 40, 90 walking gazelle? He knows the sport original terminology, because Kevin Durant plays like that. 50, 40, 90. What does that mean? 50% from the field, 40% from the three, 90% from the free throw. This guy's an anomaly, man. He's ridiculous. And like Richy Rich said, the way that he saw that Brooklyn Nets was playing, trust me, whether they have the team construct the way that they do Richy Rich, or whether they have James Harden, Brooklyn Nets winning that shit next year, with or without James Harden. James Harden just gives them more of a star power. And let me tell you why I like that more. Because even though you have a more complete package team, NBA playoffs, people forget this. And when I talk this basketball heads will know what I'm talking about. In the NBA playoffs, you need guys that can put ball in the baskets. You don't need all of these numbers. People get caught up. And see, when I say this, Richard, yeah, you got a point. People get caught up in, oh, your team need to be stacked. Your team could be stacked all they want, but what if this stacked team ain't putting the ball in the basket? You know how many teams are stacked or they don't put the ball in the basket? The year that the Golden State Warriors played against the Cleveland Cavaliers and freaking Andrew Bogut and Draymond Green went down, you realize the Golden State Warriors was still more loaded than the Cleveland Cavaliers in terms of a roster? Did that get them anywhere, Richy Rich? No, because they didn't have motherfuckers that can put the ball in the basket. Playoffs is about having people that can put the ball in the basket and score. This is what James Harden does. He knows how to put the ball in the basket and score. So that's why I trust that scenario over any other scenario where it's just a loaded team. Because I know when push comes to shove and the chickens come to roost, if you don't have that guy that can put the ball in the basket when it matters the most in the playoffs, then what you going to do there? How you going to score? So that's why I'm always going to pick the James Harden scenario with a Kyrie Irving and a Kevin Durant. It just gives them that extra luxury of having that other guy that could come in there and put the ball in the basket. So that, let's say Kyrie Irving's having an off night and Kevin Durant's having an off night, James Harden could come in there, put the ball in the basket, and help them. But outside of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who do you have now? Well, we're gonna rest our heads on Spencer Dinwiddie. He's a good player, but he don't score like no damn James Harden. You see where I'm going with this, Richy Rich? This is why James Harden makes more sense. Because when you're talking about playoff basketball, the game slows down, defense wins championships, but offense gets the glory. You know why they say offense gets the glory? Because offense has to score. You still gotta fucking score. So if you got a guy like James Harden that can score the way he can score, why are you not gonna get him? It's better to have him than to not have him at all. Plus, with the fact that you know that Kevin Durant just came from Achilles heel, Richy Rich. Think about that. And Kyrie Irving is injury prone. You need another scorer. I would take that over any other thing. Any day of the damn week. Somebody else that can put the ball in the basket, damn right I will. At that level, yeah, damn right I will, because people forget James Harden can score with the best of them in the league. So why wouldn't I want somebody like that on the basketball court that could come in there if Kevin Durant's having an off night, drop 30? That could come in there and drop 30 if Kyrie Irving's having an off night. That's a supplementary guy that you need above whoever else you're going to mention that they should keep. I'm always going to pick that route. So, yes, James Harden needs to tuck tail, bend the proverbial fucking knee, and take his ass over to the Brooklyn Nets. That's his best option. Outside of that, go to the Miami Heat, pair up with Jimmy Butler, and you will see James Harden actually walk around with a six-pack. You mock my words with that. Now, let's get on to the last topic. Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe Bean Bryant. Now, I did a video the other day. I don't remember when I did the video. people were jumping in, asking me questions. LeBron Tars was asking me questions. And these are the little slick questions they like to ask you. If the game is on the line, who would you have shoot the ball, Larry Bird or Michael Jordan? I'm going to pick Michael Jordan. And a lot of people are like, what? If the game is on the line, who are you going to have to shoot the ball? Larry Bird or Kobe Bryant? I'm picking fucking Kobe Bryant because we're talking about clutch and crunch time. No one gets the ball over those guys. And I don't care where you shoot it from. And I could argue this down with the best of them because this is about clutch and crutch. This is not about basically you shoot well from the three-point line. Stephen Curry shoots with the best of them from the three-point line. But in crutch moments, you can't find him. He's a crutch. He's not clutch. So in clutch and crutch time, when you don't need to be a crutch, you need to be clutch. I'm picking Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant because their mental allows them to elevate as if the basketball is like a literal ocean. That's how they see the hoop. They see it as an ocean. And see, what people got to understand is when you look at PERs and you look at all of this stuff, basketball nerds know what I'm talking about. You always got to look at people's true shooting percentage. This is how you determine what they are on the basketball court. When you look at Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's true shooting percentage in the clutch, this shit is over 57%. Over 57%. So why would I pick anybody else over them? And people want to sit here and tell you, well, LeBron James is more clutch. You know why they say LeBron James is more clutch than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant? Is because when LeBron James got to the league, they started to add this whole last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes of the game is not clutch. That's too much time. It's the last 2 minutes. You remember Stephen A used to tell you guys, I would pick LeBron for 46 minutes, and then the last 2 minutes, I'm going to pick Jordan or Kobe, even though that was asinine, Asher 10, Asher 11, and Asher 12 for even to say, all 48 minutes, I'm picking Jordan and Kobe over LeBron any fucking day of the week. That's just me. But you notice he would say 46 minutes. How many minutes on the game of basketball? 48. Clutch time is the last 2 minutes. This is for people that operate in basketball 303 lane and higher. It ain't never been no last 5 minutes. The reason why they opened the window for 5 minutes is because they know LeBron's not clutch. And this is how LeBron was able to usurp Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant in terms of last second shots, because he's doing it in 5 minutes left in the game. How is that even clutch? Clutch is the last 2 minutes. But if you go and you look at the true version of clutch in the last 2 minutes, you're going to see that LeBron James ain't nowhere near a Michael Jordan and nowhere near fucking Kobe Bryant. Because that's what clutch is all about. The last 2 minutes when the game is on the line. Not no last 5 minutes. I don't know where. See, this is the thing. Every time there's always a new standard that has to be created for freaking LeBron James. I don't understand why they always creating these new standards for this guy. Love participation award era. How is 5 minutes? Do you realize how long 5 minutes is in basketball? We watch NBA games. 5 minutes is like an eternity. When was 5 minutes ever clutch? It's the last 2 minutes, man. Because in the last 2 minutes, it can go like that. Last 2 minutes, you know the game about to be over. That's what clutch is all about, because that's pressurized situations. And if you notice in the last 2 minutes, LeBron always folds, or he folds like a freaking La Pretzel, man. So when we talk about game on the line, we talking about clutch factor. We're talking about dominating the basketball at the highest levels. I'm not trusting nobody when it's all said and done over Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe B. Bryant. And I'm gonna give you a fun fact. Devil's Double said this. Last 5 minutes, there's damn near 12 minutes a quarter. That's just about halfway. Thank you. That's a napalm right there. That's a napalm. How you clutch and you got almost half of a damn quarter? Great fucking point. So I had to put that one up. But anyways, do you know that Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, that people say, well, why are you bringing up that commercial? They had a horse game. You remember that horse commercial, Richy Rich? You remember it, Jaliktheleader. They had a horse commercial where they were just shooting everywhere. Do people not understand? And this is quantified, calculated, verified, and certified. Do people not know that Michael Jordan and Larry Bird are so competitive with one another? They compete against each other in golf. They compete against each other in all aspects. You know they really had the horse before the commercial, during the commercial, and after the commercial? Do you guys know that? If you guys didn't know that, you better go research that shit. They actually had that competition. And Jordan beat Larry Bird everywhere. Everywhere they shot. Larry will tell you. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You know why? Because the stakes were up. And when you have the stakes up with a Jordan and you have the stakes up with a Kobe, the basketball rim looks like an ocean to them because they want to demolish you. They want to show you they're superior in the clutch than you. This would have been the same thing with Kobe versus Larry Bird because that's how the way these guys operate. They're ultra competitors, man. Ultra competitors, the way that they operate is the basketball is an ocean to them. They can't miss. And if they miss, they're going to find a way to get it in there. You best believe that. Have you ever taken time to listen to when Jordan and Kobe shoot a basket through the net? That thing go, I'm going to say it again. That shit go, I mean, it's so sweet. It go, there's nobody shot that go like theirs on the basketball court. You know why? Because these guys' mind is wired for that ball to hit in the basket. Do you know that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, when they practice, right, and they're running simulations in their brain, they're running pressurized simulations in their brain so that when they hit pressure situations, it's like a walk in the park. It's easy for them. You know, Jordan, when he's shooting, he's telling himself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kobe Bryant, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So when they go on the basketball court, this simulation is very easy for them because they've already simulated this thing in practice. This is not me talking. This is stuff that can be quantified, calculated, verified, and certified. Jordan talked about this in the NBA 50s book. He said, I make pressure situations easy for me because I always bring noise. I would be in the Chicago Bulls room and I would put up loud music. I would bring up noise as if it's like fans screaming and I'm shooting free throws because they're simulating this shit. And so that way, when they practice it, when they step on the basketball court, it's a walk in the park. That's the difference between these guys and all of these other people. That's why in clutch situations, I will pick them over anybody. There's stories where Kobe Bryant has had games of horses, games of shooting against other people where he's dominated them each and every single time. Because you know why? The odds, the stakes were there. And when you're dealing with stakes and odds and you're dealing with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, I don't care if you even tell me Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller is as lethal as they come. I'm not picking no damn Reggie Miller over no damn Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Because Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are the ultimate assassins mentality. Just look at when Michael Jordan played against Reggie Miller. Look at when Kobe Bryant played against Reggie Miller. They rammelanged him. From one being the black goat to the other one being the caramel goat. They rammelanged his ass. Because Reggie Miller had to realize these guys were just on a higher level of competition. This is what clutch and crunch time is all about. And this is the embodiment of what Michael Jordan brought to the game of basketball. This is the embodiment of what Kobe Bryant brought to the game of basketball. So to me, and to anyone that really knows the game of basketball, in the clutch or in the crutch, you ain't giving the ball to nobody else but Michael Jeffrey Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And you know what the famous and infamous saying is with those two guys? Give me the ball and get the fuck out of my way. Go ahead, Jalik. What you got to say?
Man, I mean, you got to give Jordan credit, bro. Like, I mean, he has supreme confidence, bro. Like, I can't take that away from him. I'm not no liar, bro. You got to give him that, bro. Like, Jordan is really somebody that you feel like you got a chance of winning. Just put it like that. And not only that, even if he down by like 6 points, that move that he made, the defensive move that he made in Utah, when he smacked the ball out of Carmelo hands, that's you got to credit his conditioning. If you tired, if you James Harden, you can't even make those moves like that because he's tired. Give me the ball. He just standing still. He can't do stuff like that. So with Jordan being who he is,
you don't fix your rabbit ass mouth and say that same shit about Kobe. You know Kobe's conditioning is second to none, right?
I'm on Jordan right now.
Okay, all right.
The original before I talk about the clone, bro. I gotta talk about the original.
Hey, ain't no clone over here, dog. You don't do no clone crap over here. You talking Kobe, dog? Go ahead. Go ahead.
But Jordan, bro, you feel like you got a chance of winning no matter what. You could be down 10 points. That's just basically bottom line when you got Jordan on your team. Now, how he would do right now, it'd be, I mean, if he stretched the floor out more, because it's so 3-point happy now, it'll be real interesting to see how he would have stretched his game out. Kobe is the same way as well. And to be honest with you, I think Kobe jumper is better than Jordan, and his three point range is better than Jordan, in my opinion. So
it is. Or not.
Yeah. So you got to give it to Kobe as well. Now, can they both score better than Kevin Durant? That's a big debate right there. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I really don't think they can, bro. Homeboy is super efficient. He don't.
What are we talking? What are we talking about when we say score better than him? What are we talking? Because I just told you clutch and crutch situations. That's what I said. If you're talking about normal times, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Kevin Durant. But we're talking clutch and crutch situations.
To win those two Finals MVPs though, Kevin Durant. Like he did do some clutch things though. So that's
Kevin Durant is my guy. Kevin Durant is my guy. But Kevin Durant studies them. So he can't be better than them. He studies them. If you studying somebody, you ain't better than them.
Is Jordan better than Dr. J?
Yeah, he's way better than Dr. J.
Okay, he studied Dr. J, didn't he? Come on, bro. Stop it with that.
Wait.
That's his
Jordan
guy.
No.
This is Jordan.
Jordan studied a litany of basketball players. It wasn't just Dr. J. So what are you trying to say?
Well, he surpassed that. What I'm trying to say is you can study a guy but still surpass him.
Kevin Durant locked in and study exclusively Michael Jordan. Kevin Durant don't study nobody else. The only other person that Kevin Durant studies outside of those guys is Kyrie Irving. That's why he teamed up with Kyrie Irving, because he likes Kyrie Irving's ball handling. But it's from a ball handling standpoint, because he's enthused by Kyrie Irving's ball handling. But he exclusively studies Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan don't exclusively study no damn Dr. J. That's why I said, nice try. That shit will work with anybody else, but you just got to eat the work right now.
Go listen to Dr. J is his guy. Like, that's his guy. Like, he'll tell you that.
No, he's not. Jordan don't exclusively study him. Because let me tell you what Jordan did. When Jordan came into the league, Jordan said he was enthused by Magic Johnson. He was enthused by Larry Bird. He was enthused by Isaiah Thomas. He was enthused by Dr. J. He was enthused by Larry Thompson. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Do you even know who that is? Okay. Jordan was enthused by so many people. Elgin Baylor. Because Elgin Baylor is the originator of the turnaround shot.
And he surpassed those guys. So you can study people and surpass them. That was my point.
Jordan studied David Thompson. Jordan studied a lot of people, man. Elgin Baylor was probably the signature person that Jordan studied over anybody else, because Elgin Baylor created the turnaround shot. He was the one that started the turnaround shot. Jordan just put a little stank on that motherfucker and made it a fadeaway. And Lewis is right about Walter Davis. Jordan studied him too. So it's a litany of players that Jordan studied.
So now
it wasn't exclusively no damn Dr. J. So what are you talking about?
So now I was just pointing out the fact that you can study somebody and still surpass them. I mean, that's just the way it goes, bro.
No, what you did is you mix the exclusion. You mix an exclusion of studying a person exclusively versus studying a person just because you see some things in their game that you like. Jordan studied, you know what Jordan studied Dr. J for? It wasn't even anything that's on Pantheon level. He studied Dr. J because Dr. J, just like him, was athletic and could grace the air. That's it. But even for clutch situations. So what are you talking about?
But my point is that you can study somebody and surpass them. Steph Curry has become way better than his dad, and that's a bloodline thing. So I'm not sure what you're doing, but maybe his son is about 2-3 years old. Maybe he'll surpass Steph Curry. What I'm trying to tell you is Kevin Durant is probably he scored better than them. Like, just put it like that. I think he scored better than them. Is he better than them? I would say nah.
Kevin Durant don't score better than no Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Kevin Durant is more efficient. That doesn't mean you score better.
Bro,
see, that's why you need to go back and listen to a video that I did way back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the community post. Jordan is the greatest cold-blooded assassin's mentality scorer. Kobe Bryant is the highest degree of difficulty and fastest scorer. Nobody scores as fast as Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant has the Guinness Book of World Records of scoring because of the 62 points. He did that shit in 29 minutes and 36 seconds. and his shit is still ain't been broken.
Bro,
And Kevin Durant is the most effortless and efficient scorer. It's all basically linear with one another. Hold on. I'm checking you because you now dealing with a lane that I'm an expert in. You're not an expert in this lane. So when you're not an expert in a lane, you just submit. You gotta submit right now. Kevin Durant is not better than them in terms of scoring. He's more efficient. That don't mean you better.
It does mean you better in a sense because
you're not. Because what's the end result? No. Hold on. What's the end result of Kevin Durant right now? Kevin Durant got two finals MVPs. You want to know the end result of how you could tell who's a better scorer? Jordan got 6 rings. Kobe got 5. Kevin Durant got 2. So how the hell he's a better scorer and he got 2?
Back on that. You always do that. What Kevin Durant can do everything they did, plus he pulling up from deep. Steph Curry.
Thank you, Lewis. You see, Lewis schooling you in the chat, though. Jordan, Kobe, and Kobe are dominant scorers in different ways. That's facts. I done told you that.
Guess what both of them have? Guess who they both of them have?
Look at this LeBron talk. Look at this about you got LeBron as Tupac. That tells me everything. And you got Magic Johnson as Suge Knight. That tells me everything I need to know with you. You should never talk basketball no more. This guy right here, never. You banned from talking basketball. Go ahead, Jalik.
Listen, what this Jordan and Kobe have in common? What's their savior name? First name start with a P.
They don't have a savior. They don't have a savior. See, this is the problem, Jalik. See, every time you start doing this is when you got to get muzzled. Richy Rich schooled you. Richy Rich schooled you earlier. Phil Jackson was not no damn Michael Jordan savior. Phil Jackson came on a team that Michael Jordan was already the ultimate competitor. Phil Jackson brought a system that wasn't even his system. Hold on. Let me educate you. Because when you say Phil Jackson's the savior, do you realize the triangle offense is not even Phil Jackson's system? That's Tex Winter. That's Tex Winter that implemented the system. Phil Jackson brought Tex Winter on. And you know who's another guy that doesn't get enough credit? The other assistant coach, Clemens. Clemens don't get enough credit for the work that he's done. But these are the guys that have built up the triangle offense that you see that a Michael Jordan and a Kobe Bryant has flourished in. What you got to understand is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, just like Tom Brady was for New England Patriots, they are already the dominant equation. They are the napalm. They just needed an offense to supplement the napalm. So there ain't no savior in this situation. You're just saying this because you're a LeBron tard, and it's basically something that sounds cute for you to say, but it ain't the truth.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I think they're nice. I just think, a matter of fact, I know, you know what I'm saying? I've seen them. You know, Kevin Durant he don't even try hard. Like, it's easy to him. Like, you can put him on any team going way back and forth when they was wearing the shorts with the Chuck Taylors into now. He's gonna be the #1 scorer. It's just, that's what it is. He's 6'11", bro. He's like 6 inches taller than them. You can't block his shot. He can dribble. He started off playing point guard. It's not even debatable that he scores better than them. Now, when you're talking about the clutch, that's the key point. Now, if you want to point out clutch, yeah, but overall,
that's what we was talking about the whole time.
Yeah,
but if you want to, you have every right. You have every right to make your point in your free thinkers movement to say that Kevin Durant is a better scorer. But that still don't mean that we're not going to ether and murk it if it's wrong. It's wrong to sit here and say that he's a better scorer than them because he studies them. When you study somebody, when you studying somebody, you ain't better than them. I'm sorry, you ain't. Because you studying them for a reason, especially at that level, because you're trying to get something that they trying to get. You see, Lewis done schooled you again. Kevin doesn't have the full game like Kobe or Jordan. Kevin has good footwork. Kobe and Jordan had great footwork. Remember, he studies them. When you study somebody at that level, because remember what I told you, what Eric Thomas said, the great mentor, at this level, we ain't practicing no more. You either got it or you don't. So when you study somebody at that level, it's because that person is superior to you. And you studying their abilities so that you can try to be as superior as them. So what are you talking about?
Listen, is Mayweather better than Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard? Yes or no?
Of course, Mayweather's better than them, but Mayweather didn't study them.
He didn't
study them. He didn't study them.
And Larry Holmes.
That's a whole nother conversation in of itself. That has nothing to do with basketball. But I'm going to tell you like this. He never studied those guys.
Bro. Kevin Durant, listen, he scored better than Jordan. I know you don't like nobody to criticize your savior, but in the clutch, I lean towards Jordan in a sense. I lean towards Jordan because you know the referee's on the side. So even if you just barely touch him, he gonna get the call. So I mean, it's just certain things the way it was structured because he was making all the money for the NBA. Everything was designed for him to win because without him, they would have lost so much money. Now it's a little bit more balanced out. So Kevin Durant might not get the same calls because we got to be honest. They was up 1-0 against LeBron and them. They did foul Kevin Durant, and that changed the whole course of that championship. I think OKC actually was on their way of winning, but they didn't call that.
Like me, I'm the one told you that. I'm gonna tell you that for weeks.
Before,
like me.
I was an OKC fan. Like that's what I'm trying to tell you. I watched basketball, bro. I can't lie. I'm not on this. I just tell it how it is straight down the pike. So Kevin is a better scorer, but Jordan is clutch though. You know what I'm saying? Jordan is clutch. You got to give it to him. Now Kobe ain't as clutch as Jordan like that. I can't.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? This is when you start talking and you're not making sense. You're not making sense because you need to go and look at their clutch shots and you need to go look at their overall clutch shots. Jordan and Kobe are linear with one another. What the heck are you talking about?
Now what do you
say? You're not talking basketball, man. Not talking, it's like Floyd Mayweather, right? If you don't talk Floyd, you ain't talking boxing. If you ain't talking Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, you ain't talking basketball, man. So they are the embodiment of basketball.
Because clutch cannot just be in the fourth quarter, right? It can be at the end when the half is about to be over. Now, what do you define as clutch?
I don't define clutch as just fourth quarter. I define clutch. I'm gonna tell you. You asked me a question, so I'm gonna school you real quick. I like to school people on basketball. Clutch is when you're able to make plays in high pressurized and in situational moments. That's what clutch is. It ain't about a quarter. It's about high pressurized and situational moments. The reason why these things are important is because when you make baskets in these moments, you demoralize the team's defense. When you make basketball plays in these moments, you take the win out of them. This is what Michael Jordan does. This is what Kobe Bryant does. They take the win out of you in high pressurized and in situational moments. That's what clutch is. It ain't about a quarter. It's about that. How do you perform in high pressure? There could be a first quarter. In the first quarter of basketball, there could be a high pressurized moments where the momentum is shifting one way on another team. But because Jordan went and Ramalang 12 straight points in that high pressurized moments, he switched the momentum and demoralized the defense. That's a clutch moment right there. It ain't no damn fourth quarter. It's because of the timing on how it happened, the situation on how it happened. That's how clutch is defined. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. That's what clutch basketball is. This is why we say the true basketball eye test, because we look at stuff in intangible moments. We look at stuff in high pressurized moments, and we look at things in situational moments. That's what clutch is at its truest and its most proper levels. Not a freaking quarter. Now, the fourth quarter magnifies it because the fourth quarter in of itself is pressure. So it magnifies these points of what we're talking about. It just happens to be the most pressurized quarter. So it's going to magnify these points. But the fourth quarter would be kind of number 3 on the list because it is pressure in of itself. But when you define clutch, that's the order in where you define it. High pressurized situations, number 1, situational basketball, number 2, and in the fourth quarter, number 3. That's the way clutch is defined. No other way. No other way.
Okay. If you say clutch, maybe that's kind of more debatable. Overall, I got Kevin Durant.
No, it ain't debatable what I said. What I said was absolute. He knows his sport law. Ain't no debate. It's law. Once I write it in Moses fashion, it's law. That's it. Just take it.
Listen.
Take it. Follow it like a commandment. Follow it.
It's law. You were spitting some things that just not true. Just because somebody is born before you, and you learn from them, that doesn't mean you can't surpass them. If you listen to Floyd, not to get off topic, he said that's the guys he like. He said he like Hearns, he like Aaron Pryor, he like Larry Holmes, he like Sugar Ray, and he surpassed those guys.
So hold on. You just said wait. You just said he liking somebody don't mean you study. You even know who Floyd. No, let me educate you real quick, and then we're gonna give it to Rich on the back end. Do you know who Floyd really studied from? Because it's like you don't even know Floyd.
Come on.
Floyd studied from Pernell Whitaker. See, if you talking Floyd, you got to be talking boxing, man. If you talking Floyd, you got to be talking boxing. Floyd studied from the. Hold on. Let me school you. Let me school you because you need to get schooled.
No,
Floyd learned from the tutelage and the school mastership of Pernell Whitaker.
and he's better than Pernell.
Yeah, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. The people you say he studied, the point that I'm trying to tell you is we know he's better than Pernell Whitaker. That's not the point. The point is the people you said he studied, you was categorically wrong about that. That's what you need to get G-checked on.
As it said,
you was wrong on that.
But you get my point. You can study somebody and surpass them. But why is it that you can do it in boxing, but you can't do it in basketball? Explain. You know what? I know who I need to call right now? Where's I love this game? Let me sick her on you. Where's she at, bro?
Because still got your fetish for her? You still got your fetish for her? Don't worry, I'll bring her back. I'll bring her back so that you can get on La La Land and you stop talking real bad. I'll bring her back.
You can do it with Joy, and then he just double talk this stuff out of. I'm gonna put you on the witness stand.
We just started these lives back up. Don't worry, she gonna come back, and when she come back, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be talking all gaga language.
Hey, yo,
you're gonna be focusing. You're gonna be like, "Oh, I love this game. I love the way you know how you always be cheesing. You in your pure beta supreme. I love this game. I love this game. Hey, I agree with you. It's kind of like I want to check you, but I can't check you. I love this game. I love the way you. That's how you sound every time she come around. See, you sound good right now. You actually sound like yourself.
Rich, don't bail him out, bro. He on that witness stand. He contradicted.
Ain't no witness. So anyways, Jalik, he be hushed, dog. Let Richy Rich talk, man. Go ahead, Richy Rich. What's your take on this topic?
Yeah, man, when it's all said and done, Jordan and Kobe are two of the most clutch players to ever play the game. You know, you just look at how, their approach of the game was, man. Just watching those guys, it's like they always had a counter move what the defender threw at them, and these guys, we've seen it. They're the type of dudes who've raised their games on the biggest of stages, you know what I'm saying? The majority of the time, when you compare them to other greats or other players, these guys have had more rising, moments, man, especially when their backs were against the wall, when they had to face a Game 7 series, not in a final setting, probably in the series. I remember when Kobe, the Houston Rockets, they were that year where they had Artest, Yao Ming went down, but the Houston Rockets, man, they were a solid team. They had Aaron Brooks. They had no answer for Aaron Brooks because Derek Fisher couldn't really stay in front of Aaron Brooks. Aaron Brooks was a problem. He pestered them in that series. Kobe, man, he really stepped up in that series, man. He was hitting big shots. He was actually taking it to Artest. Artest was trying to get dirty with Kobe, man, in all types of ways. And Shane Battier, he was playing some hellified defense on Kobe. Kobe willed that series, man, for the Lakers, because that was a Houston Rockets team that matched up well with the Lakers. Kobe was able to step up in those clutch moments and hit big shots on. We talking about the certified legitimate defenders. I'm not talking about no cookie cutters. We talking about Shane Battier and Ron Artest, man. Those guys were the best of the best in the business at that time. And Kobe was out there drilling shots in their faces like it was nothing, man. We've seen Jordan do that, man, countless of times, going in the 7-game series with the New York Knicks. Stepping up, making steals, hitting clutch shots against Utah. I remember when he hit that multiple clutch shots on Byron Russell in the first year, 97, when they faced them in the playoffs. He hit that game winner. Me and he knows, man, we were trying to rush home. I think we went to some type of church thing, but we was like pissed off. We didn't want to go because it was the first game of that series, and we wanted to watch it. And we got back home just in time to see Jordan hit the game winner in Game 1. Man, we went crazy, man. But that's what you got with Jordan, man. When the ball is in his hands in those defining moments, man, you're just confident. You're confident that Jordan's going to hit that shot. Kobe as well, man. You fear those guys too, because the defense is gonna try to do whatever they can But these guys are gonna find a way to get that shot up and give you the best
Mhm.
chance of winning, man, because there's a great chance of that shot going in when it leaves those guys' hands. You know, Kevin Durant, he's phenomenal in his own right, but I would say Kobe is. I'd go with Jordan and Kobe all day, man. Kevin Durant, you know, he's still got more moments he has
Mhm.
to give us. You know what I'm saying, to be in the same class as those guys. Kevin Durant, he only got 2 championships. He's hit a couple dagger shots in the finals, you know, in other series, but it just doesn't match up to the catalog, the resume as a Kobe or Michael Jordan. That's not a knock on Durant, but Durant has to give us more. You know, I'm pretty sure, I'm confident that Durant's going to give us more. That dude looks good. You know, I want that dude to not have a setback to play all these games, man, because that dude's a special player. You know, what that guy's able to do on the floor, man, the NBA needs that. You know what I'm saying? Because we missed that last year. We didn't get that. But now we're going to get that. We need him to hold up. I'm praying that he holds up because I know that dude, man, he has a few more chips in him. You know, so uh Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, those are two of my best clutch players, just because of their resume, their body of work, man. These guys are also the best at footwork. So it's whatever the defensive player throws at them, they can counter it because they know how to move their feet. They know how to shift their feet, get open, and get create space to get a shot off. Not saying
Fact.
that Kevin Durant can't do that, but Kevin Durant does not have footwork like them. He doesn't have a post game like them. But you can see Kevin Durant has improved a lot on those things. But
Yep.
Kevin Durant, unlike Jordan and Kobe, Kevin Durant sure as hell makes scoring looks effortless, man. Especially that pull up shot, man. You can only pray that thing don't go in, man. When that guy gets his shot off, because dude, man, that dude really looks like he's unguardable, man, out there, man. You gotta hope that shot doesn't go in. Once he gets that shot off, you feel like that shot's gonna go in every time because Kevin Durant has that sweet stroke. He has that shot you can't block, and he has a sweet stroke, man, on his shot. You know, and he just knows how to move around. That's the thing I'm talking about. What he improved on. He knows how to get separation, and he always does like this. Like like he could put the ball on the floor as a 7-footer. You know, that's you don't really see. It's like how I say, we haven't seen players be able to do that. You got Lamar Odom that was able to do stuff like that, but he doesn't have a skill set of a Kevin Durant, man. Lamar Odom was more of a utility player. He's everything. He does everything type of guy, all around type of player. But as a scorer, man, Kevin Durant is phenomenal, man. But in my book, it's still Jordan and Kobe, man. Just too much body of work, too many moments, too many memories from those two, hitting too many big time shots and big time clutch situations, man. But I'm pretty sure Kevin Durant, man, he's got a lot left in the tank, man, to be compared with those guys. But
Yep.
to me, it's Michael number one, then Kobe Bryant. But Kobe, man, he's not a distant second. He's right
Yep.
there with MJ, man, because Kobe has a lot of big time shots, and they feared him just as much as they did Michael Jordan. You didn't want that ball in Kobe's hands, man, because in those defining moments, because there was a chance that Kobe was going to hit a crazy shot. And
Mhm.
Kobe's footwork to me looked like it was better than Jordan. Jordan had
It
phenomenal
was
footwork,
superior.
but Jordan
It was superior.
Jordan's footwork, Kobe's footwork was insane, man. Kobe
Yeah.
put his own little spin on it, man. Like
Mhm.
there was stuff that Kobe would do out there, man. Like it left me mesmerized. I was like, man, this guy is remarkable with the stuff that he's able to do with his feet. Like I was like, man, that wasn't a travel. I had to go back on a lot of the stuff when I was watching like old Kobe stuff on YouTube. Kobe didn't travel, man. Kobe, man, that dude was a master at footwork. If you really watch Kobe's footwork, you would know that dude that dude was a master at that thing, man. And that's what made Kobe one of the most dangerous players in the clutch. He could shift and create so much separation with the footwork that he had in his arsenal, and he was able to get shots off. You know, so two special players, man. Two in my book, man. all-time greats, man, all-time GOATs. You know what I'm saying? And they
Mm-hmm.
deserve to be up there. When we talking
Mm-hmm.
about clutch guys, you know, uh, Kevin Durant will have his time to get up there. You know, he's gonna have to give us more moments and more memories, which I'm pretty
There you,
confident he will. But
there you
we
go.
gotta wait and see.
And then I
If
can't.
Kevin Durant didn't get, hold on, Jalik, let me say this. If Kevin Durant did get injured, he would already have caught up in a lot of ways because he would have been sitting at 4 titles and he would have been giving us 4 titles of body of work because he would have muffed up LeBron another 2 more times. And that in of itself would have had him demolish LeBron James 4 straight times. And Kevin Durant would have been in prime position to where we would have been seeing a lot of signature moments. See, what people got to understand is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and I'm going to say this to some people, they're not going to agree, but these two guys, one is not necessarily better than the other. It's just the thing with Jordan that helped Jordan to make himself better. Well, I won't say make himself, but it gave Jordan an advantage. Is Jordan got those 3 years of college that Kobe Bryant didn't get. If Kobe would have had those same 3 years of the Dean Smith system, I don't even want to. I don't even want to entertain that conversation. I don't even want to entertain it. For Kobe to be a guy to come out of high school and to do what he did, I mean, that's short of beyond impressive, man. And then we also have to ask ourselves when we say signature moves, Jordan is, and I'm going to tell you how it is when we think of Jordan and Kobe. Jordan is the Tupac of basketball in terms of his simplicity. I'm not saying he's the Tupac. Lewis was right when he said Kobe's Tupac in terms of how he's misunderstood and polarization, all that. I'll give Lewis credit on that because he's the first one to say it. But I'm talking about in terms of their game. Follow me. You know, basketball heads are going to follow me immediately what I'm saying. Richie Rich, Lewis, Anthony L, they'll catch it immediately. But Jalik, you're going to need to follow me because I'm on a He Knows the Sports Slick Rick storyline here. When we think of Kobe Bryant and we think of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan is Tupac in terms of simplicity. Tupac is an MC, right? That what made him the GOAT was in his simplicity, his fundamentals. He's not the best MC in terms of lyrical ability and all that. It's the simplicity in what he says and the fact that he's throwing his literal soul at you. That's what made him the GOAT. This is the defining details with Michael Jordan. That's why he's like Tupac. Jordan's fundamentals and his footwork is the greatest simplistic footwork on the basketball court. Kobe Bryant is the most variance, meaning versatile, meaning basically he's giving you so many different dimensions on his footwork. He basically took what Jordan did and amplified it because Kobe's not simplistic in the way his basketball might operate. Kobe don't think, oh, I just need 16 feet and in. Jordan's always looking for the highest percentage shot. This is why Jordan became the GOAT. Because Jordan's like, I'm going to take the highest percentage shot when the game is on the line because that gives me the highest percent to know that is going to go in. Kobe, on the other hand, is more like Biggie. You see how the way Biggie is? Biggie has more variety in his ability. Biggie has more lyrical ability. That's how Kobe is on the basketball court. There's more lyrical ability in his game. There's more substance there. So Kobe's like, I'm going to fade your ass up from 35. I'm going to fade your ass up from 40. We saw this when he played against the Portland Trailblazers. You remember that tight, squishy type of fadeaway that he did, Richy Rich, in between Brandon Roy? And I keep forgetting that other Portland Trailblazers player. You saw the difficulty. You saw where he faded that thing from. Kobe just mastered all of the little distances, inches, and basically how to shoot anywhere. He's just really, his repertoire is really expansive that way. So when Phil Jackson said that Kobe Bryant is a better shooter than Michael Jordan, that's what he was talking about. That Kobe was able to take what Jordan did and expand it further. So from that standpoint, it's just a different way to skin the cat. Now, when we think of Kevin Durant is what he is. He's a 7 feet or 7'1" guy that they say list him as 6'10". I don't know why they keep saying 6'10", because when he stand next to DeMarcus Cousins, who's legitimately 7 feet, or Anthony Davis, who's like 6'11", he's a little taller than Anthony Davis, and he looks like he's about the same height as DeMarcus Cousins. So I don't know why they keep saying Kevin Durant 6'10". But anyways, he's a 7 feet 1 guy. God gives everybody their advantages. Kevin Durant's advantages, he's just that height. Now, do you imagine? See, God has to give certain people limits. Imagine Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, Richy Rich, at that height with their skills. Imagine that. You were talking about their field goal percentage would probably be 70%. But they didn't have that height. So they're limited to 6 feet 6. You catch where I'm going with this? The basketball heads that are basketball heads, they done caught the message of what I'm talking about quick. Jalik, maybe I may have to, peel the layers of the onion so you can get it. Kevin Durant, the reason why he is more efficient and why everything come easier to him, he sees the rim at an easier plane. So of course it's going to be easier for him. But imagine Jordan 7 feet. Imagine Kobe 7 feet. And them being able, with the skill set that they have, to see the rim the way that they see it. They would even be doing feats higher than Kevin Durant.
Criticize him.
So the point that I'm trying to tell you is this. Kevin Durant studies under the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant system because Kevin Durant realized that system is the most masterful system in terms of basketball. And yes, Lewis brought up a hellified point here. Look at the 02-03 season. Kobe was sizing up defenders, shooting 30 feet. That 55-point game versus the Wizards in Jordan's last year will show you that's facts. In 02-03, that was the year that Kobe Bryant mastered the game of basketball. That was the first year that you saw that Kobe Bryant was starting to show you that the game was becoming easy to him. You know why? Because in that year, Kobe Bryant realized something. He wasn't chasing the game. The game was coming to him. See, people that master the game of basketball, the game comes to them naturally. They don't chase it. LeBron is always chasing the game. That's why LeBron would never be on Jordan and Kobe's level. He's always chasing it. He's always forcing it. He's always saying, look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Like we listening to Chris Brown and Busta Rhymes go at it. That's how LeBron is. Look at me now. He's always chasing the game. Whereas Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, it becomes natural to them because they are natural in the way that they play. Because you know what they realize? Why cut against the grain of the game when you could play in the fluidity and the flow of the game? What I said was so deep and profound, man. I got to let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. So hear me fucking well. They don't chase the game. They don't cut against the grain. They basically let the fluidity and the flow of the game come to them. This is what mastering the game is all about. And there's only 2 people that have mastered the game of basketball. That's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Everybody else has gotten close to it. Magic Johnson has gotten very close to it. Larry Bird has gotten very close to it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has gotten very close to it. But when we're talking about master the game of basketball in terms of everything that you do, in terms of you not having a literal weakness, these 2 guys mastered it. Because with Magic Johnson, what's the scouting report on him? All you got to do is basically do what Scottie Pippen did. Make Magic Johnson pick up his damn dribble, force Magic Johnson to be a guy that turns his back. That's the scouting report on Magic. What's the scouting report on Larry? Larry's not athletic, and Larry is the type of player that does not like to go into the hole. Yeah, Larry Bird has gone to the hole and took punishment, but he don't fucking like it, and he'll tell you. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go listen to Magic and Larry when they talked about it. I forgot what their documentary was. Me and Richy Rich watched that shit. I think that shit came out in 2009 or something like that. Larry said he hated going to the lane, but he knew in that time of the NBA, that's what you got to do. So you want to put Larry Bird in a very precarious situation, take his ass and make him go inside on you, and you could punish him. If you want to know what I'm talking about, the Detroit Pistons, why do you think they beat Larry Bird in the playoffs? They punished his ass because they forced him inside. They ain't let him get comfortable and shoot threes. There's a scouting report on all of these guys, but there ain't no scouting report on Jordan and Kobe because Jordan and Kobe mastered the game. Kevin Durant is trying to get to that level to where he can master the game, but he's not there yet. So we can't talk about a guy that's not there yet and try to compare him with the guys that are already there. You catch what I'm saying? There's levels to this stuff, like Meek Mill said. There's gears.
See, one thing I respect. Oh, it's hold on. It's an echo. I respect what you're saying, but you gotta put things in its full context. One guy is playing
against full context. I already put it in full context.
Kawhi Leonard. Another guy is playing against Craig Elo and Muggsy Bogues, and guys that's not athletic and he run around the court.
What are you talking about? Jordan went up against you. I know you like to be selective. What about Joe Dumars? What about Mitch Richmond? No. Do you know who these guys are? Joe Dumars and Mitch Richmond.
Come back.
You always want to bring up. This is the problem with LeBron talks. They always want to bring up selective players because
we're talking about Kevin Durant being a better scorer, and his level of competition is way.
Why you only bringing up Craig Elo with Jordan? Jordan played up against a lot of people.
He's playing against Kawhi Leonard,
Ron Harper, a hellified defender, had to guard Jordan. What are you talking about, man?
Way better than that. The level of competition is much better now than it was in the 80s. Now
it's not. And the fact that you're saying this, is all LeBron tar material you're giving me right now.
Nah, bro.
Anybody that's a true listen, Jalik. Anybody that's a true historian of the game knows that the competition now is watered down. Even deep level LeBron tars that I've talked to can tell you LeBron is thriving because the competition is shit now. And the fact that you're sitting here saying that the competition is better than it was then, it's really showing me your basketball knowledge is limited.
On a witness stand, but when we bring up Bill Russell and his 11 rings, you talk about, that's not better than Jordan because the level of competition. Stop playing with me, bro. Muggsy,
I'm not playing with you. You're playing with yourself. You just showed limited basketball knowledge and saying that today's game, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who quit in an NBA Mickey Mouse game,
is better than
today's game is better than then.
He's better than Harden. He's better than Clyde Drexler.
No, he ain't.
Better than Michael.
Clyde Drexler won an NBA title. How you better than them?
He better than James Worthy.
James Worthy, your basketball knowledge is looking bad right now. It's looking bad.
Nothing. He got that. Listen, them guys playing back then, they wasn't flowing with the ball. They was dribbling for 20 seconds and it was ball dominant. It's more fluid. You said, I'm using your words. What you said? You said more fluidity, right? So everything is more fluid now than it was back then. Look what they would do with Barkley. They would pass on the ball. He would take 10, 15 seconds, dribbling, backing guys down. That level of playing basketball is not the same. So to say guys back better.
Using my words without not having my brain power behind those words, it basically makes those words baseless. Those are baseless words you're using.
It's context. 1 minute you say,
it's not about context because what you're doing is you're going out of context to try to prove a point that I was already in the context of. I always stay in context. You're the one that's going out of context. You're trying to sit here and tell us
80s
no basketball. That this generation, this Rudy Poo, now you done made me have to use hyperbole now. This Rudy Poo and plum brain, classic dote and troglodyte, ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric generation and players is better than that, then your basketball knowledge is limited, man. That's the point you're trying to use to justify LeBron. I get it. You got to justify LeBron. It's weak, man. Your point is weak right now.
I was watching basketball before LeBron. I even heard of this guy. I know this basketball game. I'm trying to teach you. When a student is ready,
you're doing hot air.
You're not ready to receive the information. When the student
it's not that I'm ready to receive the information. That's the thing you gotta understand, Jaliktheleader. The players lack fundamentals in today's game. If you're not talking real, you're not talking basketball, man. Right now, you're trying to force feed us your LeBron tardism, man. And listen, it's a disease. I don't need that disease. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Ready, the teacher shall appear. When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. Y'all hear that? He's not ready, so I'm gonna end it. He's not ready for the information. I'm trying to teach him about the game. I'm trying to teach him. He just don't get it. But go ahead. He's not ready yet, man. One day
teaching he knows the sport about basketball. It's like you taking a dump and trying to smell the dump and telling yourself the dump smell good. It don't make no damn sense because you know shit smell like shit. So what you doing is shit because it don't make sense. You get what I just said? You can't teach me the game. I can teach you. You need to just listen, dog. Higgity hush, pay attention and listen. Because what you telling me right now makes no sense when it comes to basketball. It makes absolutely no sense. You're telling me something that just makes no sense. Anybody that's a historian, that's a true historian of the game, knows that this is a watered down generation. This is a watered down game. It's not the same. These players
is better
outside of the last of the Mohicans, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and Tim Duncan, these players ain't gonna last in that generation of basketball. They will get pushed around. They would get ramalang. They would get done up, and LeBron James included. Kevin Durant's probably the only other player that would be able to hang in that generation because of his abilities. But everybody else will get freaking lang. LeBron James will be crying all over the place because he would be getting shut down because the likes of a Dennis Rodman was getting in his head. You don't understand that level of basketball. That level of basketball was all mental. It was all mental, man.
A few guys back in the day, like big guys that could shoot, like Jack Sikma and then Detlef Schrempf. But now they got multiple guys that can do that on a regular basis. It's a lot of Jack Sikmas and it's a lot of.
If the NBA is what you said it was, why the ratings are at all time low? Why is the NBA so boring now? See, this is telling us one thing. It was numbers are telling us something else. Jay-Z made this terminology. He said, "Men lie, women lie, numbers don't." If what you said was true, why is the ratings at an all-time shit? Why is people not paying attention to the game the way they used to? It's because the product has gotten worse. It's not better, man. You
thank LeBron for
but then there's another thing.
The rules
I'm cutting you off because you're talking nonsense right now, bro. You know you're talking
better, bro. Like I can name you so many Kiki Vanderways, so many Jack Sikmas, so many Detlef Schrempfs. I can name you a lot of guys like that. You get what I'm saying? I can, and then Craig Elo. I mean, come on, bro. I'm not trying to make Craig Elo look bad, bro. But come on, bro. Craig Elo ain't better than DeMar DeRozan, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop playing with today's NBA. Stop playing with
DeRozan. What the hell's DeMar DeRozan done?
He better than Craig Elo. Is with the Craig
Elo's led teams to the playoffs. What has DeMar DeRozan done?
That's what I'm trying to say. He's gonna make the Hall of Fame. Craig
DeMar DeRozan has never led no team into playoffs. DeMar DeRozan was led by Kyle Lowry, and Kyle Lowry ain't nothing either. What are you talking about, man?
They're good. That's better than guys back in the day, bro.
You hurt my basketball brain right now. You insulted my basketball intelligence with this nonsense, man.
The rules was different. Charles Barkley, he ain't running the floor playing point. All they did was the same thing: hold the ball. Patrick Ewing got the ball for like 30 seconds and doing the same post moves over and over again. I mean, it was fun, but they not better than the Gays guy. You can't tell me Patrick Ewing is better than Anthony Davis. You crazy, bro.
Patrick Ewing is more fundamental than Anthony.
Get out of here.
Anthony Davis is more physical in terms of his abilities. He has more athleticism than Patrick Ewing. But bar none, Patrick Ewing is better than Anthony Davis because Patrick Ewing has led. Hold on. Patrick Ewing has led the New York Knicks to the NBA Finals. Patrick Ewing has led the New York Knicks to the Eastern Conference. What the hell did Anthony Davis do in NOLA outside of playing with LeBron? This is what I'm trying to tell you. Your basketball knowledge is trash.
Now you giving LeBron credit. Okay, so now you give him credit. See how you change the game up. Now you giving LeBron credit, but all the other times you
giving LeBron credit. Don't jump out of top context here. We're talking about what you just talked about with Patrick Ewing and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, if he was what you said he was, he would have done the feats that Patrick Ewing did. I'm ethering you. And the reason why Lewis is laughing is because Lewis is in New York. And Lewis is like, there, he knows his boy is killing this cat.
Listen, Patrick
Ewing led the New York Knicks to NBA Finals. Patrick Ewing has led the New York Knicks to third round. What the heck did Anthony Davis do in NOLA? See, that was the issue right there. That was the thing
that Patrick Anthony does plus more. Everything Patrick Ewing does, Anthony does plus more. It's about
telling me this is what you're telling me, Jalik, and you're mixing it up. You're telling me about what a player does physically, and you're taking that what a player does physically, and you're saying that what they do. Hold on. You're saying that what they do physically is on par with what they've actually done in terms of heavyweight lifting. That makes no sense, man. You have to look at the product. You know how you judge
got a ring?
you judge people. Hold on, Jalik, hold on. You judge people by their body of work.
He got
When
a
you
ring.
look at Patrick Ewing's body of work and you look at Anthony Davis's body of work, you can't compare them.
Scoring title.
I don't care about scoring title. I'm talking about body of work.
His body of work is better than Patrick Ewing. He won a chip. Both of them won a chip. Patrick Ewing won a chip.
LeBron cards are so bad. LeBron cards are so bad when it comes to basketball. When it comes to the history of basketball, that LeBron cards have to find these types of things to make their justification. This is pathetic, man. The fact that you're sitting here, I'm telling you a truth here. If you go and look at Patrick Ewing and look at what he did in the playoffs, you look at Anthony Davis and what he did in the playoffs. I'm talking about with them leading the charge. The fact that you're making this comparison, the more you talking, the more you showing you limited when it comes to this basketball.
Ewing is better than Anthony Davis, bro. Like that's nobody thinks that. Like he just on a block all day. Imagine him playing now. What would he do? Block shots and get rebounds. He'd be too slow to just space the floor. He'd get
you said it because you said it. Because you said it. What you're saying is, let me tell you something, man. Everybody opinions is like assholes. Everybody got one. Because you're giving me an asshole opinion.
Look at the way the game is played now, and look the way a lot of those center guys that's not able to adapt, that's just on the block all day, is not able to adapt. That's why they not really lasting in the league. I'm just spitting facts and I'm spitting truths.
No, you're not. Because here's facts for you. Here's facts for you. If what you said was true, the NBA ratings would be at an all-time high. So clearly, the reason why people are not paying attention to the product is because the product is lackluster. The product is lukewarm. Nobody's paying attention to it. It ain't the same. So what
it was more popular back then, and I agree. Because I like certain rules.
It was better. People were more engaged in a better product. See, you keep double talking. But hold on, Jalik. You keep double talking, but you keep coming back and alluding to my point. You keep buffering back to my point. So that tells you that your point is off because you have to keep coming back to my point. That means the point you're making is not strong. Because when you make a strong point, you don't need to come back and double back on my point. That means my point is the strong point and your point is the weak point. Now, Richy Rich, close us out, man.
Yeah, man, we went in, man. We hit on a lot of topics that were on point. Let you guys were active in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Everything coincided with everything. So, we gave all you guys a great show today. NBA season is about to start up. These preseason games are finally done. We're about to see what this thing gonna be about, man. I think it's gonna be a good season, man, and it's there's gonna be a lot of storylines for us to talk about in weeks on end. So I'm prepared. I'm psyched for that. I know he knows I already got the topics ready and lined up. So we're gonna make sure we come hard. We come correct on the shows with the topics that we gotta come through. Once again, I'm grateful that he knows brought me back on along with Jaliktheleader, and I'm glad that you guys came through in the chat. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming weeks to come and the future shows. So be easy, you guys. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right, close us out, Jalik.
I appreciate you having me on here. Shout out to He Knows His Sports and Richy. Shout out to Dade County, Broward County. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Anthony, Luis, aka Stat Tracker. Everybody in the chat, man. Always remember this. I'm trying to teach him something, but he's not ready for the information. So don't blame me when he start getting up here talking crazy. When the student is ready, always remember that. When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. So when you're ready for information, you can receive it. If you don't get it, you're not ready for it. And that's fine, though. He's going to learn. But that's all I gotta say on that.
All right. Everybody knows he knows his sport is Yoda, and you that Padawan dog. You Luke Skywalker that's hard headed. You just don't want to listen. But anyway, y'all have a great Sunday. Y'all enjoy yourselves, man. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Appreciate everyone that engaged. We're gonna keep coming. Every week we coming. We're coming harder. We're coming harder. There's a lot of topics for us to talk about. Let's do the damn thing. Appreciate everyone that showed out. Anthony L. Lewis Sports Network. Um, my boy, you know what I'm saying? I gotta show him love. Devil's Double. You know what I'm saying? Everyone that showed up and showed out, man. Appreciate y'all. Anthony Dooms, Josh, you know, David Long, even though you're LeBron Tard, we're gonna give you some love, man. Rip be breezy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give all of you guys love, man. So appreciate everyone that showed up and showed out. Make sure you donate to the platform. Super chat, you know what I'm saying? Cash App, whatever you can give your Sunday's best. We appreciate it. Make sure if you're new to the platform, you subscribe, comment, like, and share. We're coming right back at it again next week. Y'all check my brother Lewis Sports Network out. He's going to be covering some basketball games. He's going to do his thing all throughout the week. Anthony L., salute to you. Richy Rich, Jaliktheleader, salute to everyone. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good Sunday. Peace.
Peace.